Distance, written by Kingsley McGlew, read by McClenaghan. Chapter 1. Hans Angel sits on a chair and twiddles his thumbs. I kissed another man's wife upon her lips. The decay continues, the illusion of well-being as my reality falls apart. Who is responsible for picking up the pieces? Who will put my jigsaw self back together? What brings you here, mate? Not much. What's your name? Hans Angel. I'm no shit Harry. Hans Angel stands and adjusts his lime green jumpsuit. He pockets his goggles before shaking the offered hand. It's a pleasure to meet you. Hans Angel rocks on the heels of his cherry red boots. Rainfall brings life. Parched deserts become floodplains. Rivers flow to the sea. I ride upon a raft filled with dreams. Rapids are reminders that Tuesday night is rubbish night. Me mate, he's Spanish Mac. It's a pleasure to meet you as well. No, I must insist, the pleasure is all mine, gimmicks Spanish Mac, engaged in the throes of a handshake. No shit Harry adjusts his sweat-stained cap. About to head out fishing. Fancy coming? Spanish Mac removes a grubby thong, looks at it, and then replaces his foot into the thong. Got plenty of bait. Tide's going out. You can't sit around up here, mate. No shit Harry nods his head, allowing his brown curls a brief bridal waltz. You're likely to shrivel up. You're likely to become overcooked. Bit of charcoal. Spanish Mac tucks his Mickey Mouse t-shirt into his maroon football shorts. Good for nothing. No shit Harry trundles down the footpath like a garden gnome eloping with Venus. Don't be a blouse. It ain't every day you import Headland. Spanish Mac migrates towards a dusty red Ford Falcon XC ute with a trailer attached. Spanish Mac kicks off an AC/DC galah neck salute to a nearby seagull. The seagull flaps across to the park bench departure lounge. Alright. Hans Angel approaches the ute with timid steps. The cracked windscreen reflects his sun-tanned face. A slight stench of beer hangs about the interior. Mary Rainfall was my woman. There was no understanding. My guitar was in the rubbish bin. Our romantic photographs were minus my head. It was only a kiss. The engine roars to life. Bloody beaut, mate. No shit Harry turns to Hans Angel with a childlike grin of tobacco-stained teeth. A smooth expulsion of sardine breath infiltrates the intermediate surrounds. No shit Harry glances in the rear vision mirror. Oh, what the centipede's testicles is going on here? No shit Harry shakes his head like a dunny door during a storm. Mac, get your backside out here. No shit Harry emerges from the ute and stalks about the smorgasbord in a state of salivating flux. What? What is it you see, Mac? Don't be shy with your response. You don't mean the trailer? Spanish Mac rubs his thong into the bitumen. And do you see the tinny? Unless you turned into a rabbit overnight or I'm seeing Playboy bunnies by the dozen, do you see the tinny? No? Why? Spanish Mac looks for a Playboy bunny down Wedge Street. A Playboy poster offers sweet moments for solitary confinement. No shit Harry slaps his cap against his thigh. You could sweet talk a blue-tongue lizard. You're faster than a dose of Bombay shits. Don't be trading on no past glory. I thought it rather strange that you'd go fishing without the dinghy, but what was I to say? Spanish Mac gestures that it was so big. Don't be pissing on me back and telling me that it's raining, Mac. No shit Harry hesitates. He clears his throat. Come on, let's... Didn't you drop the boat off? Forget it, Mac. I've lost the fishing mood. Gone like the last lamb chop on the barbie. Ought to become a vegetarian now, hey? No shit Harry provides a dingy lighthouse smile as he returns to the ute. Besides that, I'm as dry as a dead dingo's donger. Let's pull stumps and plant farts for a bit now, hey? Spanish Mac and the empty trailer conduct a Mexican standoff. Spanish Mac admits defeat and returns to the safety of the bench seat. Thank Christ we've still got the bait. Nothing wrong with a toasted bait sandwich, hey? Course you are, Angel. You need your vitamins, recommends No Shit Harry, tapping the steering wheel in a round of applause. Me herbalist suggests that I stop chewing on the grass and take some multivitamins. I tell you what, me sexual performance has improved threefold. I'm good for, 30 seconds is not uncommon these days. Squashed between two beings in bad need of a shower, Hans Angel clutches his knees to his chest as the reverse gear is engaged. The ute staggers back into Wedge Street. No Shit Harry places the vehicle into drive and moves towards Richardson Street. No Shit Harry chucks an underarm delivery, turning left onto Richardson Street and points the bonnet towards the Esplanade, another lazy dropped catch in the outer left field due to a passing blonde attraction. Hans Angel exhales as they blindside the Pier Hotel and keep on driving. No need to stop. An incident after midnight. I was a fool to state the truth. She tasted of pepper steak mixed with red wine. Where is the harm in that? Spanish Mac plays a sand wedge comment. Got pissed as a maggot last night, couldn't remember my name. Oh, No Shit Harry goes for the torpedo punt. You were pickled pink, bloody great effort. And did you spend the morning having yourself a liquid laugh? Nah, I was out and about searching for some bush oysters. Tell you what, got an ear bashing from some dunny budgies while I was in the library. There I was, with me long johns down to me ankles, reading this damn good tale about this bloke who, save it for later. No Shit Harry stamps the turf looking for an even bounce. The next race is about to start. Got the inside word. The ute heads out on Wilson Street, adjacent to the BHP Nelson Point iron ore operations. Slow-moving locomotives pull fully laden ore carriages into town. A shimmering mountain range of iron ore bakes beneath the persistent sunshine. Bulk container ships hurriedly digest the continuous stream of iron ore being fed into their grappling bellies. Hans Angel stares through the cracked windscreen. No woman owns me. It was trade week. Insults and lies were priority picks. Silly me to compare peppered steak kisses. Silly me to state that Mary Rainfall came in second. The meal never reached dessert. The half-eaten pepper steak ended up in the rubbish bin. Hans Angel continues to stare through the cracked windscreen. Maybe I should have called her. But the bourbon resolution was to move on. Photographs slowly burned. Letters of declaration were ripped into confetti. I stood outside a church and tossed my shredded sonatas of love. Summer snowfall upon a happy union, complete strangers with smiles upon their faces. See that? That thing over there points out No Shit Harry, signalling leg buys. Yeah, Hans Angel catches a first glimpse of the Dampier assault operation that is not the object in question. That soulful night I cooked a peppered steak listening to Brahms' Cello Sonata No. 1 in E minor. I kissed my peppered steak. It was not the same. I tried to seduce my peppered steak with daggy jokes. What was Eeyore looking for in the toilet? Poo, of course. My beautiful peppered steak was not amused in the slightest. That building, that ugly high-rise building, it's called Glasgow Heights. Everybody is a bloody Scot in there. You yell out, "Hey Haggis, you skirt-wearing queen," and 100 replies come back. You yell out, "Max, you dopey bastard," and 100 Scottish terriers yelp. You almost swear that you're in bloody Scotland. Been to Scotland, Angel? Nope. Hans Angel deflects the interrogative with a Judd-like burst the packet of chips through the centre square, launches a long bomb from outside the 50-metre arc and scores a behind. He would have scored a goal if he had played for the Dockers. I was a midnight maestro considering my options. I had purchased a box of eucalyptus-scented tissues for the occasion. The sun begins to slide down the western sphere. It is almost time to unroll the prawn net and take a drag along the Swan River foreshore. A large bucket called Hopeful stands guard over a 6-pack nestled in the sand. Spanish Mac picks his nose looking for a gold nugget. How long you staying in Headland? I don't know. Probably looking at heading south tomorrow. Tomorrow? Stutters Spanish Mac, attempting to play the spin. No, mate, you can't do that. There's plenty to do in Headland, mate, chips in No Shit Harry minus the chicken salt. Yeah, there's the topless special at the Esplanade. Pure babes who jiggle about, proclaims Spanish Mac in his role as the self-appointed tourism ambassador for the Northwest. And the beer is Ridgy Didge. No Shit Harry gives Hans Angel a pleasant wink. Just because you're topless, don't give you the right to pour a bad beer. No, it's just not on. Why do they call you No Shit Harry? Hans Angel tinkles a solo rendition across his keyboard thigh. I took my pocket of eucalyptus-scented tissues down to the local park. I played kick to kick with my shadow. My shadow was hard to catch. I managed to score after the final siren. The box of eucalyptus-scented tissues did not pull up well the following morning. Yeah, it is. Comes from working as a train driver. I take no shit. I expect certain privileges because I'm one hell of a fucking guy. You want the ore? You pay for it. No shit, Harry. That's me. Yeah, and I'm Mac, mumbled Spanish Mac, as though he had parked his car at a romantic point and was expecting a bit of action across the back seat. But his date had walked out long ago, under the pretense of visiting the holy shrine. No Shit Harry considers a reply, but lets it through to the wicket-keeper. Hans Angel peers up at the never-ending blue sky without a plastic bag cloud to be found. Look, you could just drop me off back in town. I made the call after my victory. I was sorry. I was sorry for being incomplete. I was sorry that I had lived a life of self-imposed exile. I was sorry that I had neglected Mary Rainfall. I had rung the wrong number. My apology was not accepted. Wouldn't hear about it, mate. What's a fishing trip without the barbie afterwards? You might as well crash at me pad. Get your belly full of beer and fried sardines. Move on in the morn. No Shit Harry waits for the towels to dry. Are you sure that's not a problem? The problem was that nobody was listening. Even the dog from next door was deaf to my concerns. The dog enjoyed my peppered steak, mind you. Kick me while I'm down. Woof woof. Yeah, look, got plenty of room and plenty of tales to tell. If you like, I'll show you my photo album. Got plenty of big fish in it. No Shit Harry whacks a cover drive statement. Besides, Mac has heard all my stories before. Kind of need a new pair of ears to piss in. You look like a bloke that has something to wee about. I can piss in your ear until the cows come home. That bream I caught down on the Moore River, it was an honest 30. Try 20, mate, clarifies Spanish Mac with a bucking ball interruption. Well, if you bring out the old sledgehammer and dong it a couple, chances are that bream would be approaching 40, you see, Angel. In a small town, everybody has heard the same tales. Every bloke has had a shot at the new teacher, every bloke has had a ride on the town's bike. No Shit Harry flicks through the latest CWA recipe book considering dinner options. I'm all excited about the prospects of dribbling that I might need to grab a bib. Hans Angel stares at the approaching township of South Headland, surrounded by endless red dirt, popping out spin effects like wedding present toasters. The outcome was simple. I went out and picked up a skirt. I cooked her a juicy peppered steak. She came in a distant third. She tasted of rum and coconut moisturiser. The main attraction did not live up to the expectation. No Shit Harry drives through a retired gate that stands at ease. A Hills hoist behaves as a freestanding sculpture. An aged pink fibro house has poor attendance figures. Christ, we ought to burn the backyard soon, says No Shit Harry, hopping out of the ute. Too many weeds, mate. Grab the esky, Mac, now, hey? No Shit Harry pounds his way across the dirt backyard and pulls the damaged fly screen door open. Spanish Mac heaves the esky from the back tray. Grab the bait, Angel. Come on inside and have a shake. I'm sure Bluey the Python is having a snooze. Lazy critter. He just hangs about the dunny. Sometimes he'll watch a bit of telly. What a life, eh? Spanish Mac staggers inside as a neighbourhood crow calls out the winning trifecta from a previous race. Hans Angel holds the bait at arm's length. I gave up. I lost the passion for companionship. The television entertained my scrambled mind. I was a weeping mess when the dock was lost. The world was against me. Nothing was going right. Hans Angel zigzags through the minefield of a weed patch. A swarm of ugly blowflies ascend from an afternoon festival inside the remains of a mangled cat. I resorted to the possibility of entering the priesthood. Hans Angel strides into the filth-strewn kitchen domain. The dining table masquerades beneath empty baked bean cans and mouldy food scraps. The soggy bag of sardines settles in for the rain delay. I went to the library and read The Time Machine by H.G. Wells. If only I could go back in time. If only I had never been introduced to Mary Rainfall. Take a seat, directs Spanish Mac in a moment of Hollywood delusion. So, what do you know? Hans Angel politely sits down on a wonky chair. He looks across at an outdated poster of Miss November with drooping breasts and a hand-drawn moustache across her face. My special order arrived in the mail. The brochure stated that the tablets would erase painful memories. 2 weeks later, I requested a refund. No Shit Harry pulls up a chair. The bales have been collected for the day. No Shit Harry flicks through a dog-eared picture magazine. The crosswords have been attempted. The shopping list did not fit well with the answers. Spanish Mac opens the fridge and peers inside. Be battling to raise an omelette. An effort for a stew. Spanish Mac grabs a couple of defrosting sardines. Gee, we don't have any crackers. How sad is that? Spanish Mac does the oral bender on a recently deceased. No-Shit Harry has a domestic epiphany. He reaches out for salvation and finds floating gospel. No-Shit Harry shares the spoils of his faith. Cheers all round now, hey? Thought something was missing. Back on schedule. No-Shit Harry gulps down a mouthful, eager for the final siren and victory at the MCG on Grand Final Day. Hans Angel goes through the motions. The can of beer does not disappoint. The can of beer is like the Fremantle doctor on a lazy Sunday afternoon down at the yacht club. But nobody can be bothered going for a sail. There is more interest gibbering away on the bar stool, drooling over a couple of short skirts that are playing a bad game of pool. 2,984 blowflies tango by the sink. Auditioning for the forthcoming lead roles in the stage musical, I feel movement in my loins. Spanish Mac looks down at his grimy feet before kicking an empty tube across the lino. The pizza box goalie blocks the penalty. Tell you what, when you ain't fishing, life's pretty dull. Kind of reminds me of the time when the cricket was on. Interesting. Game of cricket is interesting. Yeah, once you started on the second carton. Tell you what, there's no point of sitting around like dirty old men waiting for a peep show to rock on. Why not take Angel for a drive now, hey? No-Shit Harry pushes back in his chair. Bit early for the brothel, Spanish Mac scratches his crown jewels. Nah, I'm talking Wittenoom. Let's go and chinwag with Chimp. No-Shit Harry gets up with a fart. Sounded a little runny. No-Shit Harry jives at the fly screen door before decoupling the trailer. No-Shit Harry discards the trailer into the peppermint tree. Come on boys, don't forget the esky, Mac. The peppermint tree snap, crackle and pops. The dusty red ute splutters a lonely conversation before the throb of the 6 cylinders disturbs a mudlark sitting on the tin rooftop of the outside dunny. Hans Angel stops halfway down the pitch and calls for drinks. Hey, is that a part of Skylab? Spanish Mac donkey lugs the esky. Course it is, mate. Bloody thing landed in the backyard. Get out of here. Fair dinkum, mate. London to a brick, alright. We had our 15 minutes of fame. Appeared front page in the local rag. We were bloody heroes, mate. Then the following week, a dog got run over. That's life, mate. Always something happening up here. Spanish Mac calls for play to resume. The ute bolts from the backyard and roars off down the Great Northern Highway, following the tarmac toward Mr. Newman having a quiet cuppa, eating his jam-covered scones, listening to ABC Regional while his Kelpie Cross chews on his favourite pair of slippers. Roadside mulga wears watercoloured strokes of red dirt makeup. Dead trees stand about like funeral mourners overlooking an empty grave. The sun abruptly falls off the western sphere, bounce down and the night begins. No-Shit Harry admires the ongoing splatter of insects. Did I ever tell ya? No, mate, it's my turn. Let me piss in your pocket for a twirl. Spanish Mac fiddles with his can of beer. We ain't listening to the mucky duck bush band, mate. No need for you to twirl, just talk straight. No-Shit Harry lets out a loud F-18 rumbling burp. I'm talking from the heart. There was a time when I was known as the pissed idiot. Spanish Mac gulps down a mouthful of beer. I'd become rather romantic after a dozen cans. Real romantic. You call me Casanova. I'd speak the language of love, mate. I was in raptures over this chick barmaid Jude. She had hips you could park the ute across. Big ass, mate. Love a big ass. Bloody great set of tits. I couldn't get enough of barmaid Jude. She had bright red hair, and I loved running my hands up her hairy legs, mate. Turned me on no end. A lone bunny scampers into the bush. The only problem, mate? I'd need a dozen cans to get romantic. Worked a treat with her behind the counter. See, I'd arrive sober and leave well and truly cooked. But I had barmaid Jude in tow. Could do no wrong. We'd go back to her shack and compound the floor all bloody night. An owl sitting on a roadside branch watches the fleeting vehicle. I'd wake with my arm caught beneath her and it would be frozen stiff. Walk around with a limp arm all week long. I spent mornings, mate, just listening to her snore. Her rib cage would expand, her tits would roll about, and I was as happy as a pig in shit. The ute swerves to avoid a small kangaroo dazed by the spotlights. As the days went by, I lost interest for being referred to as the pissed idiot. Taking a mouthful of beer. I grew out of it, but the more serving in the sack I gave barmaid Jude, the bigger she got. I loved her when she was fat, but mate, she turned huge. Man, she'd leave footprints in the bitumen. Had to reinforce the loo. Knocked out a couple of walls so that she could squat in style. The moon tries in vain to hide behind a cloud. Christ, I love a woman who can pour a decent beer. That's all I want in a Sheila. I'm not a fussy mother, just love a decent beer. You see, Angel, I could never come home sober. I'd have to be pissed to bring out Mr. Romantic. Pissed all day long, and the more rumblings in the cow paddock, the fatter she got. The tyres continue to go round and around the tyres go. I'd sleep on top of her and me arse would scratch the ceiling. I'd wake up with paint particles on me backside and it wasn't funny. And then to cap it all off, mate, she rolled on top of me one night and had a heart attack. There I was, stuck underneath. I was bloody lucky that Harry popped in. He thought something strange when I hadn't been to work for a couple of days. Oh, the stench, mate. On the nose factor, SPF 30+. Harry almost died of gas poisoning when he opened the door. They had to remove the roof and get a mega boom crane in to lift her out. I was lucky, mate, real lucky. And since that day, I avoid being turned on by Biggie. Get any wishful thoughts? I slap myself across the face. Bloody race day, I'm walking about slapping myself left, right and centre. Busted both wrists. Had to employ some jerk to slap me about, mate. You learn quick not to become turned on by beer. Now, raising the can to his narrow lips. Now, I'm a reformed alcoholic. I only drink to get drunk. None of this romantic crap. Spanish Mac awaits the incoming tide of laughter. The wall chart reads that high tide will be the following morning. You hear that sound? That's the bad joke police coming to arrest ya. Leave the jokes to the professionals now, hey? I got this, mate. Spanish Mac clutches his retirement fund. Before you begin, me seal is broken. Not wrong. Hans Angel shifts the go-go dancer on his lap. Where exactly am I? Did somebody just say something intelligent? Yeah, I need to lose a bit of weight. Hang a leak. No shit, Harry reels the ute in. The three men relieve themselves by the side of the desolate highway. When did the lies begin? Up here, Angel. You sweat all the beer that you consume. You need to drink pretty bloody fast to feel tipsy. And your jumpsuit, mate, it just ain't the headland way. You need some stubby shorts and a singlet. No shit, Harry shakes his tool the required number of times to avoid being called a wanker. I'll just have to get onto it. Hans Angel adjusts his lime green jumpsuit and leaves the top couple of buttons undone. Is it wrong to have an affair? Spanish Mac continues to pee in solitude. It's bloody peaceful out here, muses No Shit Harry. Yep, real peaceful. I don't think I could handle the city now. I've enough problems with them plastic cards. If I can't see me money, then it don't exist. Like you don't expect to be served beer in a plastic cup. Nah, that's for dribbling pensioners at their bingo halls. No Shit Harry returns to the ute. Me old cheese lived in the outer suburbs, years ago when it was still part of the bush. But then new suburbs sprung up and before long she could hear the neighbours' toilet flushing. The northwest is me home. Just love the open space, the distance between towns. I ain't no prisoner out here, I have a sense of freedom. You don't see pollies or slimy bean counters out here unless there's a free meal on offer. And I just dig them train rides to Newman, drinking me thermos of Jack coffee and staring out into the bush. Ain't no neon out here. Nah, only neon you need is them hotel signs. Helps you see the pub after you've had a few. Spanish Mac stares up at the moon. Do you reckon there's a Holiday Inn up here? You know what? It wouldn't surprise me. Spanish Mac continues to stare up at the clock face. Great spot to go trout fishing. Or brew up some moonshine, what do you say? No Shit Harry salutes the Southern Cross. You know what? Our sense of identity is tied up with that constellation. Wouldn't that surprise you? Spanish Mac studies the textbook of life and fails the end-of-year examination. I thought that the Southern Cross was a pub. You know, they serve beer. And you're saying that we're a bunch of piss tanks. Gee, thanks, mate. The interval is over. The second act is about to commence. Quiet, please. The ute hollers off into the bitumen distance, approaching the Oski Roadhouse stuck out in the western wilderness. The ute turns into the Wittenoom access road and the bitumen changes hands to gravel. You know what, Harry? I've never been to Wittenoom before. I've heard of it, but... Spanish Mac leans forward to view the profile of No Shit Harry at the wheel. The profile will never hang in the National Gallery. It's an old asbestos mine township. There's plenty of health warning signs about the place. The mine closed in '66 or thereabouts. There's still a few locals hanging around. Chimp feels right at home. You ever meet Chimp? No Shit Harry ponders as to whether to finish his can, even money that the answer is yes. "Nah, I can't say I have." Spanish Mac looks at Hans Angel. "There's no point in asking you now, is there? More chance of Chimp knowing a zookeeper. Anyway, what is it that you do?" "Not much." Hans Angel yawns to end the possibility of extra time on. "I never had an affair. I was drawn to the concept of having an affair. I pretended that I was having an affair. Mary Rainfall seemed not to mind. Maybe Mary Rainfall knew that I was not having an affair, but why the drama over a kiss?" "Chimp makes me look like Skippy," barges in No Shit Harry with his clothes on. The postman is delivering more than just mail. "Almost got a job as Santa once, but they said that I was drunk. And I said at least I was jolly, and they said no way. And I told them what they could do with their reindeers. I ended up spending Christmas with Chimp. Can't recall much between arriving and waking up back home on the kitchen floor. Must have had a hell of a good time." The ute turns down in speed and cruises the empty streets of Wittenoom. Houses have packed up and departed, leaving only the telltale bare patches of concrete. Imported trees remain stranded like shipwrecks along the Batavia coastline. No Shit Harry averts into 2nd Avenue and then into King Street with no Queen in sight. The corgis have gone for an afternoon stroll. The ute comes to a conclusion outside a run-down plasterboard house. The trailing dust cloud contemplates a decrescendo. Isolation silence before the yelping sounds of a little brown dog rushing headlong into a wire gate intrude upon the occasion. The little brown dog retires wounded beneath the sanctuary of the house. "You stupid dog," informs Spanish Mac, realising that the kettle is boiled but nobody wants a cuppa. A podgy fellow with a fat snout and white whiskers appears from a doorway. A shotgun points into the darkness. "Who's there? I'll blow your brains away. Who's there?" The podgy fellow staggers down the swept red dirt pathway pretending that he is an octopus minus 6 legs. "Hey Chimp, it's me," calls out No Shit Harry with hands held high. "Go easy on the gun. You're likely to blow your foot off." "No shit. What brings you to these parts?" Chimp glazes up into the moonlight serenity of No Shit Harry's soccer ball face. "You're still an ugly blighter, mate. Don't matter if the sun is shining or it's pitch black. You're an ugly blighter." "Been looking in the mirror of recent, mate?" No Shit Harry pats Chimp on his shoulder. "You remember me, mate Mac? And that other bloke goes by the name of Angel." Lazy greetings are acknowledged like tick-the-box postcards from the Gold Coast. "Listen," slurs Chimp, looking into the night sky, searching for a forgotten cornflake in the cereal bowl of life. Spanish Mac rotates his head as though it were an antenna in search of better reception. "Yeah, I'm listening." The word on the street is to watch a lady eat sushi. "You hear that flapping?" Flap, 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 flap. "Yeah." No Shit Harry pirouettes on the spot with the mild manner of a dainty ballerina. A night cloud invades the moonshine and an intimate moment of darkness arrives on centre stage. The audience waits with bated breath. The reviews promise a night to remember. Flap, flap, flap. Awah! Awah! Spanish Mac turns on the sprinkler dance with a loose connection, creating a dust whirl. Glazed eyes peer into the blackness before a shotgun blast illuminates the dirty features of Chimp glaring up the shotgun pipe. Flap, 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 flap. Wah! The distinctive sound disappears towards the Wittenoom dump site. Spanish Mac looks into the night sky with monkish obligations. "Have you got yourself a flying thing pissing you off?" "Bloody big mother of a bat." Chimp dices the carrots over by the sink. "Come on in, fellas. Let's go and talk spinach." Chimp 2 steps up the swept red dirt pathway. "Grab the esky, would you, Mac?" No Shit Harry chases the tail end of the diminishing shadow. Hans Angel studies the night scenery before asking, "Need a hand, Mac?" The toast has been buttered. The Vegemite swipe is a must. Nah. Spanish Mac acquires the esky with an annoyed expression that there is a flat tyre. He grunts to the esky, realising that the spare tyre is flat as well. What am I? A bloody half-wit servant? Hans Angel leaves Spanish Mac to his mumbling flagellations. Maybe the kiss was only an excuse. I was ambushed by my own stupidity. Hans Angel struggles under the weight of realisation. Bitch. Spanish Mac joins the others inside the kitchen. "Fancy a beer then, mate?" Spanish Mac pulls a kitchen chair out and drops his scrawny butt on its chipped surface. "Still singing," replies No Shit Harry, caressing his beer can, imagining that it was a nipple. "Kind of feel naked without my stubby holder. Got to remember to remove the holder before I throw the can out of the window. Did that 6 cans in a row one trip. Felt like a half-cooked shepherd's pie. Mind you, the beer was cold." Hans Angel notices a couple of photographs stuck to the fridge door. One is taken from Ox's Lookout, where No Shit Harry wears his stubby shorts and singlet. He holds a fishing rod in one hand and a can of beer in the other. His thonged foot rests on the esky. Spinifex cling to the rocky walls like hungry larrikins to a pizza during quarter time. A snappy gum tree stands apart with its tortured limbs searching for tranquility. A second photograph is of Chimp treading water beneath the Fortescue Falls. Chimp wears a salesman grin as he salutes the camera with a can of beer in hand. The picture will never adorn the front cover of Dolly magazine. Chimp reaches towards a smudged glass, farting a foul stench in the course of the transaction. The little brown dog barks that he's on the outside and would like to be on the inside. Chimp sways towards the fly screen door. The little brown dog prances in with his tail up high. The little brown dog curls himself up into a fancy dress ball when nobody is sure who he is. But any excuse will do. "I thought you had yourself a white mutt," No Shit Harry asks, dangling a thong by his big toe. Chimp totters back and deposits his smelly butt down. His balance has not been affected. "I did, but he became brown. And then one day, it was raining, you see, and I kind of got used to my brown mutt, and I'm over at Molly's place, right? And the dog is white. And I call out for the brown mutt to sit, and Molly calls me an idiot." She said, "You can't call a white dog brown." I look at her baffled, and the mutt looks at her baffled, and then Molly locks the mutt in the shed. She tells me to come back tomorrow. I do, mate. And she's painted the mutt as some impressionist statement saying that the mutt now has the appearance of a mutt with dashes of bitonal pastel influences. I tell her that she ought to see a doctor because the mutt ain't an impression of a mutt, but is a mutt. And since that day, I've left the colour of the mutt in its own hands. If he wants to be white, he can go take a bath. Chimp nurses his empty glass of sour mash on his chubby stomach, looking across the stained kitchen table at the sleeping forms of Spanish Mac and No Shit Harry. Both snore in harmony, each cuddling their beer cans. Hans Angel cogitates over his chessboard, trying to save his queen from an untimely demise. Chimp reaches for the half-full bottle of sour mash. Chimp swallows a hefty mouthful and exhales the potent fumes that knock down a lone hit squad mosquito buzzing towards the sleeping form of Spanish Mac. "I'm going to catch 40 winks. There's a sofa in the lounge." Chimp moves through a doorway and dissolves into the shadows. Hans Angel swirls the near-empty can before a final salute. "Women," he mutters. "I feel so alone. What went wrong?" Hans Angel deflates his blow-up companion and tosses the can into the esky. "I'm not ready. The dream where I awoke in a cold sweat, where a Viking placed the tip of his sword on my lips. Cold. Sweat. The Viking looked down at me and said, 'Next time we will do battle.' Next time. But I dream of the future. I want to explore the unknown. I am a sailor lost at sea. I have no charts to guide me. I am sailing across the emptiness. I want to reclaim my laughter. I want my dream self to find comfort." Hans Angel captures another Bob for Apples can of beer. A night bug assaults the kitchen light globe. Next time I will do battle. A Viking warrior haunts me. My dream self must do battle. What am I fighting for? The Dream of Hans Angel, Part 1. Hans Angel walks down the corridor. Why are we underground? Billy Goat trots past, so as not to be seen. Wonderful, a talking goat. What am I doing here? Hans Angel enters a room. Hello, my name is Matilda. I'm your dream girl. Do I know you? No, you do not know me. Why am I here? Hans Angel surveys the room. The decor is quite bland. Matilda gets off the sofa. Bland? Matilda walks to the control panel. What would Hans Angel prefer? Boogie woogie. Boogie woogie. Matilda types at the keyboard. You are showing your age. The walls change to disco boogie woogie. I'm impressed. Hans Angel mimics a vertical shag with his pants on. I was assembled under the Aquarius sign. The walls change to a marine environment. Ugh, what a place! My turn. Hans Angel types at the keyboard. The walls change into wheat fields. I used to run through such fields. I'd get lost. Billy Goat bumps into the wall. Damn, thought I was in luck. Matilda watches Hans Angel. Are you feeling sad, Hans Angel? What is the emotional problem? Where is home? Buggered if I know, mate, but would you fancy a beer? Billy Goat trots past. That wheat looks bloody delicious. It's made me thirsty. I shall get dressed for dinner. Matilda heads down a corridor. You'd be hoping that you'd go without a frost this year. You wouldn't want rust settling in. Billy Goat nudges a bar trolley towards Hans Angel. Help yourself, mate. Thanks. Hans Angel grabs a bottle. Yeah, she's homebrew all right. Not a bad drop if I say so myself. Billy Goat drinks from a bucket on the lower shelf. Hans Angel pours the homebrew into a glass. Take a seat, mate. It's been a long day. Billy Goat drops to the wheat field floor. A bloody Nancy blouse. Hans Angel sits on the edge of the sofa. The wheat field walls sway. Footsteps disturb his reverie. Matilda reappears wearing a floral summer dress. Matilda steps across to Billy Goat. I see that Billy Goat has run out of charge. Matilda reaches down to a compartment on the floor. He's just a one-sip wonder. Matilda pulls out an extension cord. Billy Goat is out of charge. Matilda jams the extension cord into his anal socket. Billy Goat twitches. Billy Goat will require 30 minutes of charge. Hans Angel falls back into the sofa. I must be dreaming. Hans Angel stares at the wheat field ceiling. There was a time when I was free. I would drive off into the sunset. Matilda, how many times do I have to tell you about strangers? But Papa, Hans Angel is different. Different? Why did you bring him here? But Papa, Hans Angel is different. Him. A bony finger points at Hans Angel. He is a stranger. Tell me something I do not know. Matilda folds her arms across her chest. We're not a motel, Matilda. This is a laboratory. What's the matter with Billy Goat? Has he been drinking again? Rufus scurries from the room. His laboratory coat brushes against his trousers. I am sorry. Papa is turning into a grumpy old man. I must change the decor. Matilda considers her options. Papa enjoys the night sky. Matilda types into the keyboard. Come, you must be hungry. Matilda heads towards the starry night doorway. What about Billy Goat? Hans Angel gets up. Billy Goat will unplug himself when he's charged. Matilda strides down the corridor. Hans Angel peers around the night sky room. I'm walking in space, floating along eternity. Hans Angel follows Matilda into another room. Rufus grinds his teeth. Sit down. We have some serious talking to do. I'm not... Hans Angel sits down. In the mood to be interrupted by strangers. I'm... Hans Angel watches Matilda untie her bootlaces. Contemplating asking you to leave. I can see no reason. Hans Angel looks at his bowl filled with gruel. As to why my research should be put on hold. Eat up. It's the Carragini Express. Rufus shovels the gruel into his mouth. Eat up while it's still hot. Hans Angel watches Matilda acquire an extension cord from a table leg. Matilda plugs the cord into a socket on the sole of her foot. What? Matilda stares at Hans Angel. Hans Angel studies his gruel. What? Hans Angel gets off his cube. Hans Angel stumbles across to clutch the night sky doorway. Hans Angel descends to the night sky floor. What is the matter with you? I was beginning to feel drained. You humans are eating. Is it not wrong to recharge my energy packs at the dinner table? Hans Angel lies on the night sky floor. I must be dreaming. No, you're not. Rufus looks at Matilda. I take it you haven't told him? Told him what? You haven't told him. Rufus removes his spectacles. Why should I? What are you doing, Papa? Rufus stands behind Matilda. I'm sorry, child. Why not take a short nap? You'll feel much better. Rufus pushes behind her earlobe. Her eyelids drop. I'll wake you soon enough. Rufus returns to his cube. 20 years ago, I was employed by the federal government to work on a top-secret project. The project involved the establishment of a storage depot for radioactive waste. Hans Angel stares into the night sky ceiling. Possible public outcry forced the government into confidential departments working towards the establishment of a storage facility. The Pilbara is geographically stable. The region has been heavily mined. The infrastructure allowed the inward movements of containers loaded with high-tech equipment. The Penguin Weather Station was created to allow government presence in the region without raising suspicion. Scientists arrive here not to compare notes about the weather, but to build android life forms. Hans Angel swallows a mouthful of phlegm. The government looked upon the androids as a manual labour force to handle the radioactive waste material. I was the chief technician. The androids served their function. Then they were turned off. Although the government was only interested in constructing an android workforce to handle the radioactive material, I took the production a step further. I delved into the outer cosmetics of the android. Matilda is the prototype. She looks human. I implanted childhood memories into her personality chip. Matilda believes she is human. Sometimes even I get confused. I feel like an ordinary father with a high-spirited daughter. It's only when I conduct her monthly checkups that I realise that I am a creator. I have created life. This is my prodigy, the first of many. Do you think you will ever return to reality? What is reality? How you define it might be torture for me. What you consider to be beautiful, I might look upon as ugly. Isn't that good? Aren't humans meant to possess individual traits? Differences create conflict. If we were to reduce the conflict variable, life would be geared towards the future. We can experience space travel within the universe sooner than expected. We can reach across the stars, acquire far greater knowledge. Civilization should be geared towards the development of colonies in space. We should be building a world beyond this solar system, but we're not. Our destiny is space. Where does Matilda fit into the picture? Hans Angel gets up from the night sky floor. Matilda. Rufus plays with his gruel. Matilda. Rufus departs the room. The night sky walls twinkle. Perhaps I should ask Matilda. Hans Angel approaches the slumped figure. There must be a switch behind her earlobe. Hans Angel presses a button. I feel much brighter. Matilda looks at the half-filled bowl. I take it that Papa is not hungry? You might say that. Hans Angel runs his hand through his hair. Matilda, tell me. There is no need. Why do you require answers? Is it going to change everything? I am not complete. I have spent hours in the computer library watching people cry. Humans are special when they cry. I wish I could cry too. To express my inner feelings. To allow the outpouring of emotions. Do you realize how frozen I feel? I could place my hand in a fire. I would feel no pain. I've been created without feelings. What's the goat then? Billy Goat drinks with Papa. Yeah, that's right, love. There's nothing worse than drinking alone. I do believe that I was in the middle of a beer. Billy Goat trots into the room. It's been a long day. What's up, Cobber? You look baffled. Why were you made? Why? Well, every home requires a goat. Billy Goat muzzles into the cheeks of Matilda. But you're an android. Listen, bud, you are an outsider. Billy Goat raises his snout. You're a four-legged android. You're a soggy potato. Billy Goat steps towards Hans Angel. Stop it. Matilda stares at Billy Goat. Billy Goat lowers his head. Rufus stumbles back into the room. My greatest achievement has appeared. Let me show you the future. Rufus staggers down a showground carnival corridor. Billy Goat slides into the showground carnival wall in pursuit of Rufus. Hans Angel departs the room with Matilda. Do you know what he's on about? I thought that I was his greatest achievement. I thought that I was his marvellous daughter. Matilda leans against the Ferris wheel wall. Why do humans need to lie? Just because Mother left, that is why Papa is so drunk, so bitter. Just because Mother walked out. I hate Papa. I hate Papa for creating a replica of the daughter that he never had. I hate Papa. When did your mother leave? Last year, Mother left us. I do not blame Mother. I wanted to leave as well. Mother called me a robot. I wanted to cry. Matilda crumples to the Dodger Marina floor. Carnival lights surround her. Hans Angel continues up the side show alley corridor. Hans Angel enters a workshop. Let me introduce my greatest achievement. Let me introduce Seagull. Rufus sloshes down a glass of homebrew. Seagull stands at near 2 meters tall, a human body form implanted into the physical shape of a seagull. Half of his face has been replaced by a computer system. A white plumage covers the other half. Seagull wears a one-piece disco dancing suit of bright stripes. His boots have lost their shine. A pair of seagull wings is connected to the hollow of his back. Seagull extends his hand. Hans Angel shakes his hand. How'd you be, mate? Name's Seagull. You look the tall building type. Can't say we get many elevator riders out here. Rufus was a tall building type, but he's been cave dwelling too long, mate. He's gone bush. Stuck inside a mulga. Is that so? Hans Angel looks over at Rufus. My greatest achievement. The combination of technology overriding the human body. The human brain resembles a microchip. One can program it. One can join machine to man. One can create the perfect weapon. Seagull is the future soldier. He can fly. Rufus pushes his hand forward. Homebrew splashes to the floor. Seagull opens his wings. I rescued Seagull from the Newman morgue. He'd been dead for 2 days before I claimed his brain. His battered body, a road fatality. I brought life back into this dead being. Seagull is the half-caste of technology. Fancy a beer, mate? Rufus staggers over to the bar fridge beneath the workbench. A postcard from Munich is stuck on the bar fridge door. Rufus pours the homebrew. Oh shit, yeah, boss. Jermaine Greer would be dandy. Tell you what though, I was as confused as a buffalo in a boardroom meeting when I came round. I was plaster fossil 1 minute. The next, I sunflowered into some chemical bath with bits of machinery attached to my body. That bath contained a chemical formula that increased your human body's acceptance of the machinery. Your rate of recovery was superb. Rufus finishes his glass of homebrew. Perspiration dots his forehead. When I got out of that tub, I felt as drunk as a skunk with its nose in a barrel of bourbon. I just couldn't get the hand of standing about. My brain was telling me I was King Arthur. Donald Duck, eh? I was as sane as a lunatic swimming to Roddo. It was at that pinch of salt that I knew I was special. I was a cherry ripe with a bud of Jack Flash on fire. Special? Nah, mate, you're perfection. Remember when you took your first flying lesson? I flew prison exit into that bloody cliff face. I had my left shoe on my right foot with the concept of flying. Smiths aren't meant to fly on their own bus timetable. Then the second hand went click. I'm a seagull. I'm the first half-caste of technology. I'm the Ken doll soldier. I'm part man, part warrior. You are my greatest experiment. Rufus slams his glass down on the workbench. You are my greatest experiment. Where do you live? Hans Angel scratches his nose. Mate, I'm nuts with bolts over at the Wittenoom dump site. Got myself a pad? No working, don't be funny. By that, I mean a loo. We got our own way of saying things out here. Where was I? Quite chicken coop-like. Just on the flip of the coin of them ranges. It has a kind of cemetery late night glow. No nails with screws. What brings you here? Rufus shuffles on the spot. His hands clench the empty glass. Do you know how polony roll I feel in that dump? I'm Pat Malone. Each night I sulk. Me mates are feral cats. I'm a helpline to feral cats. I need... You promised me. I'm surprised that your wings have not been damaged. It's been 8 months since I last saw you. Rufus rubs the soles of his shoes on the floor. Mate, you promised me a china plate. I'm part human after all. You know that in the end my body's going to perish. That's the Jimmy Brits. Mate, you promised me a Sheila. I need somebody to snooker. I've got no Al Capone. I'm bored with the sales of feral cats. I don't high pitch in the meow meow dialect. I need a two-wheeler. Seagull stares at Rufus. I'm working on it. Look, I've just finished the goat. Ain't I the walking Mona Lisa of goats? You don't play Scrabble, Rufus. I'm lonely. You made me into mouldy cheese. You created a monster. No, Seagull. You are a soldier of the future. Soon. Soon is all I'm fishing, Rufus. Soon you bake your bread. We have to be careful, mate. I'll obtain another body. Imagine the uproar if the public became aware of you. Of the goat. Of... Matilda. Seagull grabs Rufus by his shoulders. I want Matilda. Chapter 2. Spanish Mac awakes with a 9-iron in his pants. Yes, I'm still an admiral. Still got me submarine firmly in place. No mission yet, just taking it easy. Spanish Mac drains the dregs from the can of beer residing on his belly button. His face turns into a sourpuss. Yuck! Nothing annoys me more than warm beer. Spanish Mac gingerly gets off his chair and rescues a princess from a bed of ice. Spanish Mac endures a hair of the dog. Did I have myself a little nap? Find myself Bo Peep. Might go Dickie Lee. Spanish Mac shuffles outside in a manner that would embarrass a seasoned croupier. The congregation of 28 parrots converse in the dialect of late-night static after the last program has ended. A flock of white cockatoo passes overhead, role-playing the Qantas jet prior to the start of the Melbourne Grand Prix. Autumn bliss. What you doing, Mac? No Shit Harry emerges from the back door looking a tad undercooked and needing an extra half hour in the oven. Water and daisies. I might just join ya. And a second stream without trout falls onto a disinterested shrub. Hans Angel dawdles outside, dangling used tea bags beneath his tired eyes. His lime green jumpsuit has more wrinkles than a grandmother's arse. His leaking attention span is almost bone dry. Mornin', Angel, greets No Shit Harry, tucking his old fella away. Mornin', replies Hans Angel, looking down at his dusty, cherry red boots. Mornin', Angel, greets Spanish Mac, shaking his number. Morning, replies Hans Angel, scratching at the dirt. What's your crust, Angel? No Shit Harry trundles across and leans against the wire fence. The question hangs in the air like the smell of an 8-month-old cow carcass on the side of the road. Hans Angel saunters to the fence. I teach people how to jump. Hans Angel props his downtown cheeks onto the railing. Oh, responds Spanish Mac like a faulty record player. Like a kangaroo? Hans Angel looks at the corrugated shed structure. Not exactly. More like jumping out of an aeroplane. A mudlark looks upon Hans Angel's bird nest hairstyle with renovations in mind. Spanish Mac rubs his skull, wishing that it was a magic lantern and that an intelligent question would appear. I guess you'd have a thing on. Bit of protection, you mean? Hans Angel offers a garden salad with the main course reply. Protection? What are you on about? You know what I mean. One of them things that opens and stops you from hitting the ground with a splash. Spanish Mac looks toward No Shit Harry for chorus line encouragement. You mean a parachute, Mac? No Shit Harry finger moon walks across his hairy belly button. Spanish Mac nods his scruffy head. Yeah, a parachute. You didn't miss your landing point. I mean, Port Hedland ain't Rio. Yeah, Hans Angel watches a crested pigeon fly past. Got a mate who was heading north. Got a free ride. Just going to think a while and then head south. Landed in a bloody gum tree. No Shit Harry shakes his head in bemusement at the goal umpire's decision. Yeah. Which one? Spanish Mac plays on. At Laurentius Point. The only bloody gum tree in the whole car park. No Shit Harry pounces on the loose football. You dopey bugger. No Shit Harry sidesteps, blind turns, snaps at the woodwork, and the crowd waits with coffee going cold on the umpire's decision. It was either the tree or one of them navigation boys in the harbour. Just my luck. Hans Angel opens his mouth and allows a frisky fly an interesting proposition. Do you think you can control your dream self? No Shit Harry inflates his chest, considers a lay-by for Christmas and slowly exhales. Nah. You can control an erection. Yeah, hastily adds Spanish Mac, collecting a hot dog from the hot dog van. It's either up or it's down. Quite a simple equation. No Shit Harry looks up towards a lonely cloud reading the personal column. Nah, what I mean is, unless you work out your dream self, will you ever understand yourself? So what do you dream about? Hans Angel closes the fridge door and the food waits for a hungry day. No Shit Harry contemplates his vote. That I'm fucking Superman without the costume? That I'm a horse leading the pack at the Melbourne Cup. Spanish Mac stares at nothing in particular. I'm a horse leading the pack. Yeah, around the final bend. I'm leading the pack. A countryside silence arrives. The countryside silence stays for a while longer. Well, No Shit Harry leans forward. Did you win the bloody cup? Spanish Mac continues to stare at nothing in particular. Can't remember. The back door opens and Chimp strolls out. The little brown dog yaps at his heels like mozzies interrupting a picnic spread after sunset. Earlobes are nibbled, salve words mend broken promises. For tonight one forgets the dirty linen and looks toward hanging the washing out to dry. Morning, boys. What a swell morn it is. The three men offer agreement that there is no surf. Chimp suits up in anticipation that the swell will improve. Mount Watkins appears in slow tomato breakfast fry, sprinkled with salt tussocks down its sloping sides. I guess we might call it a night. Hit the road. No Shit Harry pushes away from the fence. Might just grab the esky? Hey Mac, let's put some beer on ice. Need the morning head starter. You're the one with the brains, Harry. I'm having an inferiority complex right here, right now. Just ain't got no game plan. I'm bound for the wooden spoon. Spanish Mac ambles across to the ute and grabs another carton. Living and breathing the Boy Scouts motto. Be prepared. No Shit Harry returns with the esky trophy. It's a photo finish. The judges deliberate over scones. Cheerio then, Chimp. Farewell, Spanish Mac, without the fanfare or the tears. Stay away from the mongoose. No Shit Harry moulds his jelly behind the seat. The ute splutters and coughs before bursting into life. Yep, mumbles Chimp, waving his hand like a marionette coming down from a night on the whiz. Do you reckon he realises we're going? Hans Angel peers out into the abandoned township looking for a lost golf ball. No Shit Harry slowly drives off like two pensioners getting naked. More to the point, do you reckon he realised we were ever there? Spanish Mac looks towards the square leg umpire. Tell us a tale to start the day. No Shit Harry strides down the Wittenoom aisle with his red bridal veil trailing in a dust cloud behind. The wager was lost and the groom is very excited. A cockatoo calls out the daily news. Don't be shy, it's either a tale or the market report, uppercuts No Shit Harry, ducking the return good night sweet kiss. I wonder what the price of turnips is. When I was a toddler, I could not be bothered crawling like other toddlers. I would butt slide around the place. One day we were having a picnic and I managed to butt slide off on an adventure. Everyone looked high and low. Across the road, a flock of seagulls cried in annoyance and dispersed into the Sunday sky. My father noticed that one seagull did not leave the ground, and that one seagull was me. I was lost inside my own little world, being amused by a caterpillar. Hans Angel smirks to himself, caressing his can of beer. It ain't human, but it's close by. No Shit Harry stops the ute in the middle of the road. The engine is fruitcake cut. Squeaky quietness trying to return from a midnight snack. Come on, tell us another tale. No Shit Harry gestures to Hans Angel with a friendly elbow in the ribcage. Fair bump, play on. This vehicle ain't moving. And one day, I was almost 10. I decided to build a boat in the back shed. I roamed the neighbourhood looking for timber planks. I pulled down fences, I stole the wooden shelves from the local library. I spent hours hammering away. And then one night I puffed and sweated as I pulled and heaved the boat out into the backyard. I was missing a mast, so I ran down to the football field and grabbed a point post. I was minus a sail, so I crept into my parents' bedroom and whisked the queen-size sheet from their bed while they were sleeping beneath it. I raised my mainsail. I pulled anchor. I called for the family dog Basil to jump aboard, and then I waited. I waited for the early morning reticulation to spray into action. As the first splatter of water hit my smiling face, I became a sailor, sailing the high seas. Hans Angel shines the can of beer and considers his next delivery. Can't remember the last time I told that story. Spanish Mac rolls out of the ute after a night of too much activity in the waterbed. Spanish Mac writhes about on the red carpet in a fit of giggles. Tell me more, Angel, tell me more. Hans Angel contemplates the challenge of 18 runs off the last over. One weekend, it was the annual council pickup of all unwanted household rubbish. I grabbed an old washing machine and dragged it into the backyard. I dug myself a deep hole in the back lawn and started a roaring fire with the aid of a splash or two of petrol. I positioned the washing machine above the hole and I climbed into it. Before I closed the lid, I swung a couple of bags of empty aerosol cans into the fire. The aerosol cans hooted about the neighbourhood as I stayed stranded on the ground. I acquired a heat blister on my bum and lost interest in going to the moon. Hans Angel bowls short of middle leg. The batsman blocks. Spanish Mac grabs hold of the door frame, pulls the choo-choo train whistle and waits for the plum pudding to rise. Oh boy, just what the good doc ordered. No Shit Harry whacks the steering wheel a couple of times for therapeutic relief. You ought to be on telly. Spanish Mac climbs the greasy pole back on board after taking a morning dive. You funny bastard, you made me spill me can. Spanish Mac reaches into the esky and grabs a fresh delight. A wedge-tail eagle soars overhead in line with the recent hike in interest rates. That white picket fence is more of an illusion than the last shopping trolley having a dodgy wheel. The second hand ticks. The ute gathers momentum. Take two. Long ago, I made a decision to leave the city, to leave my past and to start from scratch. I was walking along the beach at sunset with the sounds of jazz in my headphones, with the waves crashing and barging their way onto the shoreline, and the jazz blowing inside my mind. Trumpets, saxophones, pianos and the swishing beat. And I just stood there and stared at the setting sun. My life was rushing by, and I was just smiling to myself, knowing there was just the one problem. What was that, Angel? No Shit Harry ignores the LBW decision and refuses to leave the crease. Oh, to be sure, to be sure. The umpire waves his crooked finger and that is the end of that. There was nobody by my side sharing the moment. We all lived for the future. But the moments, they are now. With the sound of jazz in my ears, I belonged somewhere. I was part of the audience. People have forgotten how to enjoy life. Hans Angel scratches his balls. Yeah, I don't see too many folk with a beer in their hand when they're doing their Thursday night shopping. Spanish Mac notices a bloated roux laying on the roadside verge. Poor fella, he won't be getting laid anytime soon. You tend to enjoy shopping with a belly full of beer. Kind of numbs the whole experience. Hate shopping. Hate people trying to sell me shit I don't need. No Shit Harry crushes his empty can and tosses it overboard. The thirsty ant gets drunk on the remains and spends the next day quoting Henry Lawson to his growing shadow. And then food displays in the shopping centres? Spanish Mac squeezes the toothpaste. Like cheese on biscuits with a slice of meat. Mate, I grabbed a plateful and told the lady to piss off because I was hungry and hungover. She didn't seem to mind after I was honest with her. You see, Angel, honesty is what's missing in these strange times. People avoid honesty and they end up in trouble. Spanish Mac muses over his full can of beer in a Fred Williams state of mind. I honestly love beer. And I love women. Beer, women. They're both the same. That's the simplest way of looking at it. Women are cans of beer. No Shit Harry turns the veggie patch between crops. Yep, you might be onto something there. Best not to send your thoughts to Woman's Day. I tell you what, boys, let's go for a spin through the Chichester Ranges. It's longer and not much else happening. Spanish Mac plays from his front foot. The cricket ain't on, probably because it's winter, but still, there ought to be repeats. A nice long 5-day test to keep one content. 5 days of sitting around watching seagulls. Speaking of birds, let's head to Broome. Bloody great idea there, Mac. Does it grab you, Angel? Don't matter if I catch a bus from Headland or Broome. It's still a bloody long trip back to the city. Hans Angel lifts the esky and frowns at the growing wet spot that will only lead to strange looks and tight-ass Tuesday night comments down at the pub. Any chance of getting a back seat? Yeah, offers Spanish Mac, dangling a mashed prawn into the sea of opportunity. The ute hollers down the dirt track that weaves through the Chichester Range National Park. Nearby top messiahs are empty of the real estate signs but covered with Spinifex bum fluff. Hans Angel closes his eyes. A relationship needs to provide a sense of the self. I tell you, Angel, you got to understand that fishing ain't about fishing. No Shit Harry plants his can of beer on his beach ball stomach, expecting produce within the year. Hans Angel stares out the dirty windscreen. Two individuals can become complete. Fishing is about filling in time. Time is a commodity, and when you have too much time, you need a distraction. For me, it's fishing. It's about casting a line, having a beer, standing around and having a chat. You can start talking to the bloke standing near you straight out of the blue. So you caught any, mate? And away you go, having a yak with a bloke you know nothing about. It don't matter if you don't catch a fish. They're more trouble than they're worth. If I want to eat fish, I'll buy a packet of fish fingers. I'm not concerned about fish, to be honest. I'm just concerned about filling in time. You can't spend the whole day stuck inside a pub. You need a bit of fresh air. To go home with the smell of bait on your hands, you know what they say. It's best to have fishy fingers than a marlin up your date. No Shit Harry blow dries his jungle hairpit by raising his elbow to quartermast. Spanish Mac considers the chalkboard menu. He waits for his turn in the conversation line. Where is my other half? And here I was thinking you went fishing because you were hungry. The pantry was empty. Hans Angel offers some avocado dip to the candlelight occasion. Listen, Angel, if the pantry's empty, you go down the local and have a counter meal. You don't go fishing, or you end up hungry and sleep on an empty stomach. No Shit Harry turns to the field umpire who blows the whistle. The crowd is far from impressed. You get my drift? Yeah, still ain't caught a fish yet. Might take up bird watching instead. Hans Angel sighs in remembrance of a childhood sweetheart who became a nun. Birds, yeah, might just watch them for a while. Don't bother talking to them. The ute passes Python Pool and continues to chew up the gravel. Had a girlfriend once who had this habit of catching a python between her legs. Smart lass that she was. Spanish Mac awaits the Boxing Day test applause. It's only mid-year. Spanish Mac disputes the line call. Did I hear something funny then? No Shit Harry stands his ground. Now, hey? When I was a young fella, Spanish Mac provides the pork chop special, no older than 10, I discovered the concept of fishing. I was standing thigh deep in seawater casting a line with the ambition of catching something. I saw on telly once that the average fish doesn't have much of a brain. I thought, being the young bloke that I was, full of ideas, that if I couldn't outsmart a fish, there'd be no hope for me. I'd be an embarrassment to the family. I stood in that water prior to sunset, and I was still standing there when the stars came out. Ma yelled, "Son, we'll have baked beans for dinner." And then I thought, nah. The brain size of your average fish is smaller than mine. I was a stubborn individual, had problems with learning because I was too busy thinking silly thoughts. And I stood in that water, casting me line till the sun came up. And it was only then that I realised there were no bloody fish in Port Gregory. You heard about the pub with no beer? The fourth little pig has not been dressed for the Friday night chook raffle down at the local. Sounds like a Mormon church. Butts in No Shit Harry. No smoking, please. Port Gregory is a town without fish. And to top it off, they sell bait to the unsuspecting fishermen. They're taking folk for a ride. It's the sales in bait that keeps the town smothered in cash. The fourth little pig was a fat, lazy bastard who could not be bothered going to the market to be slaughtered. Yeah, ain't that the truth? The ute pulls up at the T-junction where the dirt track hits the northwest coastal highway. No Shit Harry ponders over the word pyramid on the other side of the road. Funny name. Real bloody funny. No doubt they've got some cold beer in that bloody fridge as well. People with humour. Makes you laugh. A road sign states that Wim Creek is 55 kilometres away. "You little ripper. Shove a bun on me sausage and I'll provide the mustard," calls out Spanish Mac to no one in particular. Dying for a beer at the Wimmy. No one in particular adds to the conversation. It ends at the full stop. Tall power lines stand at ease out in the deep left field. A stretching roadside fence line gives defined boundaries to the flatness. Floodway signs offer a summer joke to the weary traveller staring down the uninterrupted white line. A cattle grid speaks to the front tyres. The back tyres answer back. The ute crosses Jones River. Hans Angel raises his head and peers over the fleeting railing edge at the dry riverbed. The dry riverbed pulls itself through the landscape with the riverbank treetops in close pursuit. One thing I love about driving is the opportunity to reflect. A Willy Willy takes centre stage. No Shit Harry conducts the orchestra from the pit. Back in the late 70s, when I was a strapping young bloke, I had my first car. It was an XA Falcon station wagon with high suspension, tinted windows and a couple of foxtails dangling from the aerial. I'd finished my apprenticeship as a mechanic, could strip a straight 6 in less time than it took a chook to spit out an egg. A solitary cloud high in the blue sky chases storm cloud company. I had my Malibu and I thought I'd give surfing a blast. You see them surfing mags and the Sheilas that are all tanned and defying gravity? I thought I'd get in on that act. Heading north, searching for the perfect tube, the perfect line, an endless right-hander. Of course, the only right-hander I was getting was from the barmaid after I asked if she pulled anything other than beer. A shredded truck tyre looks for a wheel rim. With my Falcon loaded, I headed north. Surfed Red Bluff, Nalu, Yardie Creek, Eggshell Reef. I hate to intrude, but did you actually surf? Hans Angel calls for order in the courthouse of life. Well, Angel, surfing ain't about the act of surfing. It's about being in the right mindset, being in tune with the ocean. And yeah, I'm in tune with the ocean. I hear her calling. You never rode a right-hander. A cow with its legs sky high quickly passes by. Most Friday nights at the pub, you'd be surprised how eager barmaids are to give you a swipe. Kind of forgotten where I was. I surfed Eggshell Reef, Broken Bones Point, and it just didn't feel right. I kind of needed more meaning in my life. So I headed further north and ended up in Headland. Kind of grew up real quick. Got myself a wife and... You don't look like a marrying type. It's not that you're ugly, it's just you don't look like a mister. Hans Angel stands on the sideline and offers cheap advice. Nah, never married. I'm as single as a mail-order bride. Got myself a wife. She was a Kelpie cross. I called her my wife because every time she barked I came running. And we had a good relationship. She'd let me know when my can of beer was empty, and if the esky was close by, she'd grab me another. And then I found myself a steady job. How many days off do you take, just out of curiosity? Hans Angel's shoes a march fly away from taking up squatter's rights on his forearm. As many as I want. I think the company prefers it when we ain't at work. They have to find us something to do. Because we're permanent and signed a contract. They can't just sack us. It works both ways. The company gets a reliable workforce and we get a career. A future. Always enjoyed turning up for the Christmas lunch, haven't missed that one in years. No Shit Harry waits for a high performance certificate in the mail. You ever been to the drive-ins? Spanish Mac looks out at the tired countryside in need of a fresh coat of paint. Nah, I'm a city bloke. Saturday nights were beer, pizza and videos. Hans Angel exchanges his empty beer can for a full one. Wisdom will arrive in the morning. That's what the papers say. A road train thunders by with trailer loads of cattle off to the burger joint and the guarantee of a dead-end job. Tell you what, begins No Shit Harry at the commencement of the Perth Cup and a repeat solution to jump on the wagon. When I was in my prime, must be a good while back, I took this Sheila to the drive-in for our first date. She was a lovely old dear who wouldn't piss in a teacup. It was in this ute. And like I drive up and find a cosy spot and I'm thinking I'm pretty bloody cultured like. When the film starts, the chick turns to me. Her name was Narelle. Narelle goes, "Harry, clean the bloody windscreen, would ya? I'm staring at a bumblebee's ass." So I do. I'm out there tipping beer onto the racing guide and the windscreen came up a treat. I jump back in and I think about getting close to Narelle. You know, wrap my arm around her. But you see, there was the esky sitting between us. And this was me first midlife crisis. Do I take the beer or go for the chick? I took a couple of bloody minutes to work that one out before I reluctantly heave the esky out and chuck it in the back. I grab a 6-pack for the first film. I'm back inside with a beer in one hand and Narelle in the other. Bloody beaut. Before Narelle, I had the pick-up ability of a grandma trying to get laid down at the local. And I thought then that I'd back myself a winner. The first film ends and I turn the ute around and suggest that we hop in the back and watch the feature on the mattress. Narelle goes, "No funny business, Harry. I've got your number." The mattress used to belong to me old dog. It had a couple of die-hard fleas, but you ain't going to be bothered about that when the esky is full of beer, your Sheila is by your side and a feature film is about to roll. I was so bloody content that I managed to fall asleep. I woke up the next morning with no beer in the esky and no Narelle. Narelle had left me snoring and ended up with this plumber who said he'd fix her pipes. He had more connections than a telephone exchange. They got married and she popped out 5 plumber babies. You know what, boys? That could have been me. Narelle could have changed my life. No shit, Harry watches the interrupted white line. Yep, could have been me. No shit, Harry continues to watch the interrupted white line. A group of cows stand around like a football crowd after the game has ended. A cloud of angry flies attack their enu with eagerness. The 3 occupants begin to mungle dog pant as another sign states that they are closing in on Wim Creek. Crows by numbers circle the highway overhead. The crows appear to haunt the void canvas, thick blobs placed at random, nightmare images scouring the mind screen. The crows cramp the fence with clan menace. Their continual chants reverberate with dentist drill undertones. Hans Angel simmers on low heat. Have you ever sat down and watched a trail of ants? Spanish Mac stands by his golf ball in the thick grass. Nope, can't say that I have. Kind of know how to dance with a handful of the blighters in me undies. It ain't a pretty sight. By the way, who wants to wrestle me? Ah, Mac, you're beginning to scare the guest, mate. Put a sock in it. It's like watching telly, continues the soap opera. Or it's as though their world is on speed. It's a dodgem state of affairs. I knew I was in trouble when I spent an afternoon staring at this section of the footpath. What's your point, Angel? No shit, Harry jump-starts the car. Keep your tale simple or go home. We don't have a cognac in hand. It's just driving along. There's an emptiness to the Australian landscape. I don't just mean the deserts. The President has called for a Lamington drive. You sit on your bum out in the desert while you're waiting for the sausage to sizzle. No shit, Harry fries some onion rings, and you're likely to get bitten on the arse. You think that you're alone? But you get... I don't mean being alone, Harry. I mean an emptiness. Our landscape is empty. Our cities are empty. Our suburbs are empty. There is no real Australian culture. Thank you for your patience. An operator will be with you shortly. Culture? What about the old Sunday barbie out the back? The Sheilas are in the kitchen and the blokes are standing around the barbie talking crap. You need a shovel to clean the mess up. And then the make up your own rules game of backyard cricket, and before you know it, your scungy mates are bowling spuds at your noggin. That's Aussie culture. Come on, Angel, get with the program. No shit, Harry leans back, satisfied with his response. The jury has other ideas. The Aborigine has culture, but the European settler is without a sense of identity. We are such a sad pooch of a nation that has no bark and just wants a tummy rub. There is the possibility of showers later in the day. Look, Angel, just because you jumped from an airplane, don't start sounding sophisticated. No shit, Harry begins to pork crackle. Wouldn't surprise me if you forgot your parachute and landed on your scone. And while I'm puffing, if you want culture, then hear me out. Stop wiping your backside with them trashy mags and start reading them. The toilet is flushing. Everybody just relax. The ute turns the page into the dusty driveway of the Wim Creek Hotel. Let's go on pig's ear. Spanish Mac does the Harold Holt without the drowning outcome. The three blokes grab bar stools and commence a sit-down protest. Save the trees, man. The barmaid gives the boys a nod and pours 3 beers. You lads look thirsty? The barmaid acquires the nearest lobster and takes it across to the cash register. The machine comes to life like the jukebox after midnight when Johnny Cash's Ring of Fire is the only tune worth listening to. The barmaid returns with a change the sheets if you're expecting company expression on her face. Hans Angel drifts around the bar. What if I only have the one soulmate? And what if my soulmate hates my guts? Am I destined to remain incomplete? You alright, Angel? Nah, I've become disconnected to reality. No shit Harry looks for Cluedo clues in his MIDI. Women. Colonel Mustard did it in the library using the spanner. There was a time when Mac and I weren't the best of mates. Nah, there was tension between us. You could carve an ice statue out of the coldness that surrounded us. Somehow, we let a Sheila come between us. The spotlight of truth blinds Spanish Mac. Did you remember to bring the washing in? No shit Harry raises his MIDI glass to half-mast. Mateship died last night. The resurrection is in doubt. Trust fell by the wayside to the self-centred agenda of lust. You see, Angel? Somehow this Sheila got into her pretty head that she could entertain herself with our emotions. I've got nothing against chicks, so long as they stick to pouring beer and cooking chips. But the company decided to balance the workforce. I turn up to work one day, and last week's sandwich had been removed from the fridge. My favourite poster was missing. The central console had been cleaned, and there's this pretty ass sitting in my seat. I scratch me disco nights and think that it's not my birthday, it's not Christmas. She's not here to entertain, she's the blimey balance factor. I clear my throat and spit a gobful at the door. Excuse me? Can you juggle? The chick just stares out of the windscreen. Can you ride a unicycle? There must have been something pretty bloody interesting out the window because she just continues to stare. Hey, chicky babe, you got a name? And she turns around and my jaw drops. These grey eyes just spin me out. I'm Petal. I take it that you're the famous Harry. I'm surprised that you're here. Isn't it your day, week, off? I was hooked, to say the least. The company was right. We seriously needed to balance the workforce. I was kind of drooling. A little bit embarrassed that I was wearing the same singlet I went fishing in the previous week. Should I get this baby rolling? You betcha. And we were balanced. A team. Got that train rolling through the countryside without a hitch. Made good time into a headwind. Disconnected and connected again. And for the entire journey we talked. Her old man used to work the prawn fleets in the Exmouth Gulf. Petal spent half the year snorkeling Turquoise Bay. Had a couple of sharks that were friendly. The only shark I'm interested in is a fried piece with some chunky chips. In another 6 months, she was down south. Her old man used to make pizzas in Margaret River over the summer. Petal and I had mutual interests. The only conversations I'd get from a Sheila was the, what'll it be? Beer. Coming up. In-depth stuff. Had longer chats with a petrol bowser. You ask the bowser, so, who's going to win, the Dockers or the Eagles? The bowser replies, chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug. And you're left thinking, a street walker would probably have more to say. Well, so I hear. Anyway, I went home that night and thought about going on a diet. I was going to crack a beer, but I went to the shops and got myself some soya milk. I thought that at long last I'd found me better half. A Sheila with mutual interests. You following me, Angel? The overhead fan circulates in the manner of a tired old whore amongst a recently docked crew. So little time, so many seamen. Yep, Hans Angel nods to the barmaid for an additional 3 beers. Remember to add laundry powder to the shopping list. Spanish Mac sits telegraph pole on a deserted highway without connected wires, isolated in a windswept landscape. Alone in the sanctuary of a billion stars, separated from happiness but in company with despair. Where was I, Mac? You were eating lettuce. Yeah, that's right. I took a week off work and cleared the house. Got some of that smelly stuff and made the house smell like a cherry orchard. Even started using it as a deodorant. I turned up to work with the intentions of asking Petal over for dinner. Nothing fancy. Just a couple of tossed salads and a bottle of Semillon Charbonnet. I planned to hold back on the $29 question. So, When do I get to see you in your birthday suit now, hey? And I turn up dressed in the company outfit, polished boots, a little shiny tin lunchbox, my thermos, only to be greeted by Mac with a dopey smile on his face, giving Petal a shoulder rub. I'm speechless. I mouth the words to Mac. What the fuck are you doing? Hey Harry, how's your day going? Petal drives trains. What the fuck are you doing? Petal knows how to drive trains. Mac, you're not out to chainsaw me lunch. Petal works too hard. Would Petal like a nice cuppa? That would be great. We should think about rolling. You're the boss, Petal. Mac goes to make a cuppa and I stare across at Petal. You look rather businesslike today, Harry Sweet Pie. Me, being dressed in my company outfit, looking more like a council worker holding up a broom. Yeah, well I'm here to work. Petal gets off her seat and edges past me. Her tits rub against my chest. She looks up at me and coyly states, I'm here to play. I just stand there, like an upright gum tree. Petal calls out, just go into the powder room, be back in a tiff. Mac appears, holding her tea like some kind of servant. I go to Mac, what the fuck are you doing? Take your lazy lawnmower and go and mow the fucking Gibson Desert. Get a job at the fucking golf course. She's playing you like a stereo, Mac. She has your dial, she turns your knob, she turns that knob and you jump. You're not some bouncing fucking rubber ball. Mac, don't try and mow me lawn. Wonder if she takes sugar. As you can guess, the day was just bloody grand. A slow train ride to Paradise City. Mac was acting like a born-again Christian on a membership drive. Can I do this? Can I do that? Look, a piece of fluff on your shirt. Would you like an apple? Never have I seen such a display of sadness. You would have to compare it to a bunch of rugby players dressed in tutus trying to become acquainted with their female side. Mac was lost. Mac was confused. He was trying to steal me companion that I took the next week off and went fishing. Didn't catch any. Just sat out in the mangroves with a line dangling overboard, chewing on a piece of squid. I was brooding. Surprised I didn't lay an egg. I had no choice but to give Mrs. Palmer a dial, and her 5 daughters came over and assisted with a spot of stress relief. Considered claiming it on my Medicare, deducting it from my income as an ongoing expense. And after a week of sitting around watching flies fuck, I decided that I should pop over and pay Mac a visit, grab a carton and sit down and have a chat about the situation. How the situation might be getting to Mac, being emotionally played with. Could end up with a bad case of the coughs. By this stage, I'd lost interest in my diet and was concentrating on an intake of beer and chips. Felt relieved to feed the soya milk to the neighbour's cat. Anyway, I knock on his door with the carton on my shoulder. And who should open the fucking door but little Miss Petal? I almost dropped the carton, I was speechless. She didn't have no woman in love glow about her. There was more warmth in a frozen bag of peas, mate. Her complexion was the complete Botox job. Then I thought to myself, Mac's a sly old scoundrel. He's obviously got her doing his laundry. Might have to duck home and grab a bagful. Smart little trooper. Petal goes, hello Harry, had the flu? Nah, got the runs. That's no good. Come on inside, your beer must be getting warm. And I felt like saying something, but I took a deep breath and I counted to 5. Since when did a Sheila invite you into your mate's house? I wanted to have a serious chat with me mate Mac about keeping the house cleaner in line. Petal was a woman shopping around for a bloke as though he was a pair of heels. On my way to the kitchen, I passed Mac's bedroom and couldn't help but notice a new floral set of sheets, a heap of women's stuff on the cabinet, and I'm thinking trouble's brewing. This is a bad batch of homebrew. Petal, that diseased flower, calls out, honey, I'm just ducking out to the shops. Be back shortly, sweetie. Miss you already. I walk into the kitchen and there's me old Mac with an apron on. His hair combed, a pair of white tennis shoes and some fucking socks, peeling spuds. I dropped the carton. Mac, you fucking idiot. What's come over you? I think I'm in love. With beer? Course you are. All men love beer. I mean with Petal. I think I'm in love with Petal. And I'm standing there, speechless, shocked. I'm a pig on the spit being roasted, turning round and round and round. I stumble out of Mac's house and I stagger home. I hit the fridge door because it looked at me kind of cheeky like. I spent the whole night talking to beer cans. Great companions. They're talkative when they're full, quiet as a dunny roll when they're empty. All the while I was thinking, the word balance kept on popping into me head. Balance. Who needs to balance? I'm not an accountant. I'm not stealing cookies from the cookie jar. No. And as the sun came up, it dawned on me. Petal was a spy. Petal was a scab. Petal was a hit chick, a toe cutter, a lunch seat stealer, a parking space taker. Petal was out to ruin the bond between me and Mac. The company had sent Petal in to destroy our relationship, to force me into a corner. If the company wanted trouble, I'd give it to them by the truckload. I thought I was doing them a favour by not turning up, trying to keep the fish population down. The next day, I rock up to work to show the company that I mean business. I wasn't going to be pushed around by a bunch of white-collar workers, a bunch of white legs, people attached to air conditioners, hire purchase agreements, club memberships, false teeth, bloody socks pulled up, shirts tucked in. I jump on the train. Everything is lovey-dovey, kisses and hugs and sweet whisperings. We drop the carriages off and pick up a couple of full ones and start heading back. Halfway home, I grab the bitch and toss her out the door. I yell, "Don't come back, bitch!" She's screaming and crying as though she's in pain. I yell, "You can tell the company that I ain't stupid. This is harassment. I could sue you, bitch. Fuck off back to your boss's desktop." You know what, Mac? I did you a favour. I saved you from the cheap thrill of domesticated domination. You never got around to thanking me. But hey, nothing can come between us. We're mates, through thick and thin. You know I'd rescue you from a bushfire, save you from a raging buffalo. That's what mateship is all about. No shit Harry grabs his midi glass and consumes the contents before granting the midi glass permission to stand alone on the beer mat. I might go and check on the silverware. No shit Harry departs the main room, his eyes roaming across the photographs hanging on the wall from days long ago when Wim Creek was a copper mine. His attention is briefly caught by a couple of swordfish bills and crayfish uniforms near the door. He didn't have to push her off a train. Spanish Mac clenches his glass in the manner of a Dear John letter. His grubby head leans to one side. I was in love with Petal. She understood me. She made me feel good about myself, and now I feel as though I'm a complete tosser when I meet strangers, as though I'm isolated when it comes to meeting new people. It's like I'm hanging a sign around my neck saying I'm a fool. Nobody wants a fool in their household. Nobody wants a fool in their life. I'm just an isolated fool being led by me hand to wherever. Spanish Mac releases his glass from strangulation. I hated Harry for what he did. He took something from me and it hasn't been replaced. I had something and now I don't. Some days I want to push him around. I want to show him I can stand on my own 2 feet. I can. Sometimes it's best to forget. Spanish Mac waits for the green lights. It's been a long day. The kids are tired. I admire you, Angel. And why's that? You've forgotten what you're meant to be doing. You got no idea. You and me have so much in common. Spanish Mac grinds his teeth together, trying to procure coffee grinds for the night that you do not want to end. I remember. Spanish Mac gets up from his grave with salvation in mind. His head lolls to one side. He passes No Shit Harry returning from the outside dunny. You have double booked next Sunday. What's up with Mac? He wants to go fishing. That's a boy. No Shit Harry is snookered in the corner. I tell ya, women are sharks. You no reason to fear a woman that approaches you from the front. It's the ones that circle you, appear from nowhere and stand by your side. Once, twice, getting the hunger for you, and then, well, you become a bloody handbag. Best thing to do is to learn how to fart in public at whim. You find a shark by your side staring at you, just fart, man. That shark will soon disappear. Mankind has got himself a built-in repellent, and boy, oh boy, do I use it often. No Shit Harry swishes his wiper tongue while roaring over Mount Panorama during a storm. You look fat in that outfit. Tell me, Harry, have you ever been overseas or done much in your life? Hans Angel swirls his glass and the beer swims wildly. The froth rides the bumpy whirlpool, holding on for dear life. Nah, never left the state. I hate standing out in the crowd. Kind of hate feeling lonely. Grew up as an only child, kind of like having me mates around. Yeah, it's good to have mates, and it's good to have beer. Beer kind of dulls your emotions, makes you into a sleepwalker, makes it easier to get through the day. Yeah. You see, Mac left school when he was 17. And, false starts Hans Angel in the stall gift. Your point being? I left when I was 14. Never bothered turning up. But Mac, he stayed on. He graduated. And at the end of the day, he didn't know what to do with himself. He could have done this, could have done that. Surrounded by possibilities. And what are the chances of being hit by a runaway shopping trolley? Exceptionally low. Exactly. Mac stops to tie his laces and whack. Whack. A runaway shopping trolley filled with next week's groceries ploughs into him. Mac was never the same after that. That bump took out some of his intelligence. His get up and do attitude. His belief in the fact that everything will work out. The old Mac was a little confused about how to spend his days. The new Mac, well, if he ain't drinking beer, then he's fishing. If he ain't fishing, then he's eating. And if he ain't eating, then he's sleeping. How wonderful's that? Besides, he's me mate, and that's more important than a career. No shit Harry stands for a safe seat of Wilson in the coming by-election. We ought to jump this puddle. Spanish Mac returns for the sequel, and the three blokes depart on another mission to save mankind from an invasion of cane toads. The barmaid weeps in farewell grief. No shit Harry orders a roadie as he lightly holds the steering wheel in the palm of his hand. When I was a young tacker, me old man decided to take me camping. It was back in the early 60s. We camped on the Montebello Islands off Exmouth. The place was deserted. Kind of had room to run around and explore. There were fences up and some signs, but it meant jack shit to me. Pa and I fished during the day, went snorkelling, trying to find the old HMS Tyrrell that went down in 1622. Pa said there were treasure on board. I had a swell time, roaming these deserted islands, rummaging around abandoned ruins. There were over 100 islands and we had the place to ourselves. We'd look at the map and I'd call out a spot we'd go fishing in the following day. We tried Vodka Beach, Stout Bay, Rum Cove. Sounds like a bloody bottle shop. We'd catch a feed, cook it up and have ourselves a swell time. Pa was coughing quite a bit those days. He'd lost his energy. He'd lost his tough attitude. One night I remember this as though it was yesterday. One night by the bush telly, Pa told me he was dying. He said he had Hodgkinson's lymphoma. I was a tad confused. It was all foreign language to me. He said something about being exposed to radiation when he was in the Navy. He said he just wanted to come back to the islands and try and work it out. To try and get his mind around it. As to whether he was just a fucking guinea pig. He didn't want to die as a fucking guinea pig. He wanted to die as a man. Somebody his only son, could be proud of. He wasn't going to give in to this cancer. He was going to fight it. And I didn't want to go fishing the next day. I just wanted to be with me old man. Pa did die. Not long after we returned to the mainland. I was confused. I was angry. I was mad at everyone and anyone. I was upset. It wasn't until I was 11 or 12 and realised what libraries were about that I looked up the Montebello Islands. And fuck me with a banjo. 1952, Operation Hurricane. 1956, Operation Mosaic. 3 fucking atomic bombs were tested. Me pa had collected samples from the blast zone as though he was out collecting mushrooms. He did as he was told. Fucking British. Yeah, they looked after themselves. They wore the protective gear. They didn't get no fucking cancer. Me pa, he died as a fucking guinea pig and it still hurts me to think about it. We'd camped on Alpha. We camped on Tramuli and it was as though Pa was visiting his gravesite. It was as though Pa wanted to shed a final tear. To remember the days when him and his mates followed instructions. They did as they were told. They trusted authority. And you know what? If you end up getting some fucking cancer because you trusted authority, you know what you can do with your authority. Jimmy Dancer took me Pa. When I learnt the truth, I changed my ways. The government had put distance between the problem and their tea breaks. It never happened as far as they were concerned. I began to look after number one. I say, fuck the government. Fuck the company. I'm here to stand by me mates. A wad of tears gathered by the corner of his eyes, trying to stampede down his grubby cheeks. No shit Harry seals his lips. Hans Angel snores in the middle. Spanish Mac sleeps with his cap down low. The ute flashes over the Yule River expanse and no shit Harry mumbles. It's bloody weird to expect this Yule to ever flow. Look at it. She's a dry bed, all right. The outback sure is wonderful. The Dream of Hans Angel, Part 2. Hans Angel ponders over the Scrabble board. Hans Angel ponders over the Scrabble board. Got a bee in my bonnet. Seagull places 2 letters down. Matilda looks at the board. Bum. Your vocabulary is quite extensive. Seagull pats her hand. Matilda removes her hand. From tit to arse to knob. Any chance of a 2-syllable word? Big tits. Seagull laughs. Boy, I feel great. I'm a nightly goalpost. Seagull turns to Hans Angel. How's your beer, mate? Empty. Seagull plods to the kitchen. Seagull wears a one-piece disco dancing suit of bright circles. His alligator boots are polished. Hans Angel places 4 letters down. I do not think so. Pardon? Zoomy is not a word. It is so a word. Zoomy? What? An exhaust pipe. Hans Angel picks another 4-letter word. Would you have a calculator handy? Not enough fingers to use. Matilda places 7 letters down. Zwieback. You're weird. It is a bread. Seagull shares a joke with Billy Goat in the kitchen. Hans Angel watches Matilda. How's your boyfriend? Matilda stares at her new letters. When's the wedding? No reply. How many children are you planning? Stop trying to annoy me. Seagull sways back into the room. Seagull passes Hans Angel his beer. This is easier than I thought. Seagull places 2 letters down. People thought I was stupid. That is hard to believe. Matilda ponders over the Scrabble board. Sex. Another big word. Here's a story for you. Went to this pub, yeah, right? I was sitting on this stool, drinking my beer. Shaft me, this chick appears. Seagull stares at the ceiling. Matilda admires Hans Angel. She looks at me. I look at her. She smiles. I smile. She goes, You look lonely. I reply, I'm on holidays. I work up north. She smiles at me. I nod my head. She goes, How about if you come home with me? Some questions don't need answering. Matilda rubs her foot up at the inside thigh of Hans Angel. We get to her pad-like. Hans Angel concentrates on the Scrabble board. She walks up to me, right? She tries to stick her tongue up my nostril. I push her away like a bad smell. She just laughs. Right, she lets her dress drop to the floor. Matilda reaches under the table. Billy Goat trots into the room. Billy Goat comes to an abrupt halt. Billy Goat departs the room. She's standing there, right? Naked. I mean, she's got no clothes on. I shake my head. You know what? She begins to shake her chest. Her tits begin to wobble from side to side. I'm staring at her tits wobbling from side to side. Matilda runs her hand across the lime green jumpsuit. Hans Angel stares at her hand, massaging his penis. Hans Angel looks across at Seagull, staring up at the ceiling. Hans Angel scampers out of the room. I haven't reached the good part, mate, Seagull scowls. What's your problem? Hans Angel enters the storage room. Android soldiers are stacked to the ceiling. Hans Angel lies down on the workbench. Hans Angel closes his eyes. Hans Angel opens his eyes. Hans Angel peers up at Billy Goat. It's addicting. Seagull is suffering from stage fright. Matilda wants to play with one. You make it sound so simple, Billy Goat. It is. What do they do about it? About what? About the mouldy carrot? Not much. Hans Angel sits up. Billy Goat looks down at his reflection. Anyway, it's time for my afternoon stroll. I just put my head down. When I hit a wall, I stop. I turn around. I really do enjoy these afternoon strolls. Billy Goat strolls off. Hans Angel dangles his feet. Hans Angel considers his options. I should leave. Seagull wouldn't be happy knowing that his chick wants to play with a different stick. Hans Angel lies back down on the workbench. Hans Angel closes his eyes. Hans Angel opens his eyes. Matilda stares down at him. Matilda unbuttons his jumpsuit. I watched Debbie Does Dallas last night. Fancy a shower? Wouldn't you short circuit? Matilda slaps Hans Angel. You asshole, what is your problem? It goes by the name of Seagull. I want you. It ain't gonna happen. I want you. You're a machine. Matilda leaves the storage room. Seagull enters the storage room. There's nothing special about me. I'm just an Aussie bloke wanting a bit of respect. Look, mate, don't interrupt. I didn't ask to be some experiment. I didn't ask to be created. I'm a seagull. Always was. Always wanting to be part of the flock. Seagull stands over Hans Angel. Yeah, I'm no brain surgeon. I'm a little slow on the uptake, I know that. I'm hungry for affection. I want to be a part, not some fucking monster, some freak show attraction. Seagull drags his alligator boots towards the door. Let me tell you something. I'm a survivor. Don't count me out. I remember standing under a gum tree in Alice Springs. This bloody seagull appeared from nowhere. This seagull started pecking at this stale sandwich. That seagull was happy to eat anything. It looked up at me. It started nodding its head. I'm talking Alice Springs, the middle of Australia. Seagull exits the room. Hans Angel closes his eyes. Chapter 3. Wake up, sleepyheads, it's Monday morning. The rooster has cock-a-doodle-dooed. He's busy with the hens, lucky fella. That's called a bit of day glory. He ain't employed as no fluffer. He's the main act. And in the blue corner, they call him the Headland Bruiser, the heavyweight champion of the Pilbara. I take no shit Harry square dances about the car park after the drought is broken. Hans Angel carjacks his eyelids off the gravel. Pass us a beer, would ya, Angel? No shit Harry leans his scruffy head inside the open window. Hans Angel provides a backhand cross-court winner. Cheers there, mate. Bloody donkey he is, mate. No shit Harry has his pants down before he has reached the brothel door, eager thoughts as the check did not bounce. I'll go and Captain Cook on the surf. No shit Harry trundles off, as though the elastic in his stubby shorts is broken. Where are we, Angel? A voice from a galaxy far, far away crosses the page. I think we've made Broome. Broome or bust. See any babes about? Spanish Mac looks at a parking sign before allowing his beer-seeking hand some playtime. Feel like breakfast, Angel? Yeah. Bacon, eggs sunny side up, fried tomatoes. Spanish Mac avoids the offside call and hits the striker on the chest. Or a beer. Perfect way to start the day. Hans Angel and Spanish Mac emerge from the ute and stand about like garden flamingos during spring. Hey Mac, Hans Angel pecks at his hairy armpits. Do you think there's a little seagull in all of us? Spanish Mac orders a custom-made facial frown. A seagull? I don't quite follow your drift. Hans Angel ponders a moment of soapbox clarity. We're all chasing emotional scraps that come our way. There's probably a raccoon inside me, a cheeky blighter wanting to get out. Spanish Mac scratches his $1 instant scratchy. We should go and find Harry. Make sure he's not squabbling over some stale chip. No winning numbers to be found. Yeah. Hans Angel goes waltzing Matilda towards Cable Beach. Early morning sun rays kiss the naked bay. Listen, I was out of line with my last comment. I'm sorry. This must be... Hans Angel unbuttons the top half of his lime green jumpsuit. His washboard stomach has been replaced by a beer-efficient washing machine. So close to heaven. Look, there's Harry body surfing. Spanish Mac rushes down the beach, having broken free of the tackle, and has the try line in sight. Hans Angel follows with a full house. This is beautiful. An Astor popcorn smile erupts across his tired face. Hans Angel quickly releases his smelly feet from his dusty cherry red boots. Hans Angel scampers into the ocean like a lost child falling into the open arms of his mother. We need to make time to spend time together. Are you free Wednesday night? The trio of lads body surf and call out cockatoo greetings to the dawn walkers, who return a cheerful wave and a how do you do. Damn, this is grand. No shit Harry fixes his beach rod eyes on the approaching swell line. Hey, from now on, you can call me Smiling Harry. And Smiling Harry chases a wave and tumble rolls with the bed sheets in the laundry dryer. Smiling Harry struggles to his feet and offers a hallelujah revelation. Smiling Harry because I'm happy. Hans Angel and Spanish Mac street drag down the next wave opportunity. The outcome is unknown, too close to decide on a clear winner. Blue lights flash in the distance. The meet comes to an abrupt end. It's lucky we're in the whitewash because our clothes need a clean. Spanish Mac promotes whitewash laundry detergent. The three chaps swim out to sea and prepare to launch. Countdown has commenced. On to the next wave. Broome. It's a place a man can walk around bare-chested and not feel embarrassed. Smiling Harry removes his blue singlet and wrings it out. Tell you what, boys. Let's go shopping and get a new wardrobe. I'm Smiling Harry now. Got a new name and it's about time I had a new pair of jocks. A sales assistant appears. Did you say jocks? Let me show you our winter range. Hans Angel floats on his back with his eyes barely above the waterline. It is only at moments like this that I feel truly alive. Where there is balance between the spaceman and Hans Angel, I feel complete. Cable Beach comes to life like bubbles in beer. The hire hut on wheels appears and umbrellas pop up in a Sunday morning toast mode. People disperse across the sand like mice droppings over a pavlova cooling on the windowsill. Angel mate, seriously, you need to lose the jumpsuit. The fashion police are in town, be careful what you wear. You look like a goose. Smiling Harry blows bubbles from his rear end. I have my own fashion label. Hans Angel. I do tea towels. Check out my webpage. You can buy online. How about that? Hans Angel squishes water through his clapping hands. Yeah? You goose? Who wears tea towels? Spanish Mac dog paddles after a slippery wave that slips away. We ought to go shopping. Yeah, be nice to find a terry towelin'. Gotta love Oz fashion, mate. We don't wear cufflinks up here. Nah. The greatest invention is the stubby holder that doubles up as a sweatband. Surprised that Roger Federer hasn't caught on. Smiling Harry pretends that he is a humpback whale during breeding season practicing his technical movements. The three blokes call it a draw and cast their eyes towards the surf bunnies who have left Grey Fox snoring in the hotel room with a hefty dent in his bank account. This is beautiful, mumbles Hans Angel, absorbing the Cable Beach brochure view on his way to the shore. It's beyond catching a blowfish, that's for sure. Smiling Harry hightails towards the ute with politician strides. The rejuvenated trio head along Cable Beach Road West. Hans Angel allows a stunned mullet to occupy his face. I fell in love with Mary Rainfall, but I never told her. They enter the Boulevard Shopping Centre and park beneath the yoga-inspired jacaranda tree. The three lads make haste to the nearest clothing store. They enter dripping wet. They exit dripping elegance. Hans Angel, Smiling Harry and Spanish Mac stride out with flashy new black thongs, preened dark blue stubby shorts, pressed blue singlets and colourful caps. No terry towelings on offer. They carry shopping bags bursting with the finest garments available to the modern country man. They hop back into the ute and head towards Cable Beach. Patsy Cline comes over the airwaves singing, I Can See an Angel. Fancy having a song written about ya. Smiling Harry gestures, without the dead horse in hand. Not that it concerns me, but where are we crashing tonight? Hans Angel admires his new cap in the rear vision mirror. A mate of mine has an on-site van. He wouldn't mind if we holed up there for a bit. Bloody beaut, hey? Feel like a new man. Feel as though I could take on the world. Smiling Harry reclaims the rear vision mirror and admires his own cap. Hey, could you drop us off at the beach? Of course we can, Angel. You go and have a gander at the babes. Check out the white pointers if you know what I mean. No doubt you ain't seen a decent babe for a while. Smiling Harry turns to Hans Angel. Makes 2 of us, yeah? What about you, Mac? Makes 3, unless you count the servo lass with the moustache. Nah, that ain't right. Spanish Mac laughing clowns the moment. The ute pulls up at the car park. Hans Angel waves farewell to the thonged duo. Hans Angel finds himself a patch of sand in the classified section. Ankle biters roam about. National pride is in town with the continual Aussie salute by the seaside. Beach cricket amongst the picnic spreads, an abstract visual from above. Hey Angel, what you doing? Smiling Harry arrives in afternoon hangover fashion. Harry, do you... No, Angel, I'm a simple person. Keep your bloody stupidity to yourself. Smiling Harry periscopes his eyes over the carefree crowd. It sure is beautiful here. It's like a carton of beer on ice. Hans Angel contemplates counting sand particles. Angel, the idea is quickly shredded. Yeah? Has Mac said anything to you? Smiling Harry plays with the sand as though it were a handful of dice. I would love to meet you for a coffee. No? Why? Because Smiling Harry digs into the sand before allowing it to seep through his fingers. He just walked off. I thought we'd come down here and have a swim and have a merry old time, but nah, got back from the loo and he'd gone. You were only an email away. Oh. A topless babe walks past. Smiling Harry follows her hourglass across the sand. I was talking about starting a fishing charter. Kind of hate my job back at Headland. And if I took the redundancy, then I could start up Smiling Charters and, I could make something out of my life. I told Mac before I went to the loo, and he just looked at me. Stared at me as though I'd said something wrong. His eyes were cold, as though he hated me. The monitor takes on your face. I see. Hans Angel shifts the furniture around. Might be jet-lagged. Yeah. Smiling Harry allows his feet to sink into credit card debt. Before Mac came to town, Smiling Harry looks for a lower interest rate option. Me ass was fixed on a bar stool down at the local. Had no get up and go. I was drinking with the flies. It was a sad time. Me wife had run off with a travelling circus. She fell for the performing poodle. How do you compete against a performing poodle? Women. Something fancy comes to town, they pack up and walk out. That sense of adventure, that possibility of a better life. Spent the afternoon throwing the tennis ball around the backyard. Had to fetch the ball myself. No dog about. Eager feet plod upon the sand. A child is all laughter. The keyboard is your hand. It was a hot summer. Blowies were on the menu. Your beer tasted crunchy. Old Mac got off the Greyhound at the South Headland depot. Had a carry bag and that was it. He was dragging his feet in the dust, looking dejected as though the beer was flat. A new kid in town. The Northwest is a tough place to be by yourself. Real tough. Like being an elephant at a mouse wedding. You stand out. We were walking through Flinders Street Station. I pulled over and said, "Fancy a beer, mate?" And since that moment, we've been mates. Been camping, fishing, drinking. Yeah. He said that he was in town looking for his uncle. Old Uncle George. George was a sparky. George was going to look after him. George was his uncle. George didn't exist. I knew that. I knew that he was trying to find direction, trying to stand on his own 2 feet, trying to make his way through this hellhole. Life is kind of like a hangover. Life is a hangover if you let it get to you. Smiling Harry stares out at the breaking waves and watches the body surfers that streak across the crumbling face. I kiss your lips beneath the clock. Now hey, I got him this job as a co-pilot. The company house, he's like a brother. We're family, do anything for him. We've spent the past 5 years hanging out, day in, day out. He's kind of like my shadow. He's always there. Smiling Harry watches the body surfers bungle in the washing machine. I'm always happy to see old Mac. He puts a smile on my face. Every day's a new day. Every day I look forward to saying, "Morning, Mac. How you hanging?" Yeah, Mac is my mate. The body surfers swim out to the swell line and await the next wave opportunity. The city crowd storms past. You know, Angel, I've never been much of a thinker. I'm not your new age thinking man, I'm a talker. I don't think thoughts, I talk thoughts. I've no keg up top for the storage of thoughts. From me brain to me mouth. It's a freeway, man. Even got a couple of them peak hour lanes. No storage. Beer goes off if you sit on it. It ain't no nest egg. Smiling Harry looks across at the empty dinner plate expression. You alright, mate? The dinner plate remains empty. Hey, mate. Not even a rissole sneaks out onto the vacant field. Look, mate, sometimes you need to talk about what's on your mind. I tell you that I love you. Hans Angel glazes out to sea in search of the promised land. There are certain people that you are destined to meet. Mary Rainfall was such a person. I was drunk at the time. I did not appreciate her depth of character, her natural beauty. I did not understand her guiding hand. Mary Rainfall took the gamble. Against her better judgment, she became involved with me. We danced and became one. It was at an Ed Cooper gig, crowded, smoky, the stench of beer. We found ourselves on the dance floor. I knew her ex-boyfriend. Mary Rainfall did not know me. Strangers on the rebound, trying to keep our chins up, working toward our dreams. As we danced to Sleepyhead, I wrapped my arms around her slender waist, inhaled the fragrance of her hair. Nights turning to days. Days apart trying to break our apathy, to dissolve into dreams. To pursue our goals, but the agony, the pain, the distress of continually being rejected. Broken glass, coffee mugs smashed against the kitchen wall, screams of frustration. Dead-end jobs. We became gonna do this, people. Gonna do that. Gonna do this. All we did was to dig ourselves in a little deeper. I tell you that I want to love you forever. Look, mate. Smiling Harry scratches the top of his skull, trying to switch on the globe of wisdom. I think you could use a couple of cold ones tonight. You whisper into my ear. Hans Angel closes his lips. I did not understand what you just said. When there's nobody beneath you, there's no point in humping. Look, tomorrow is a new day. It's like a full can of beer. You have to open it to be able to drink it. It's kind of like life. Coming for a bash? Smiling Harry stands to attention and removes his coat of arms. I am partly deaf after all. Nah, might have a snooze. I've dabbed some sun lotion on my nose, got my hat on, got my reflective sunnies. You tell me again. I'm pregnant. Don't want to be caught pervin. And listen, Angel, I like ya. You're not full of shit. You ain't about selling yourself. You're about observing. I like that in a bloke. Too many jokers want to be a part. They want to talk, but they got nothing to say. Got no time for the bullshit of this world. If I want bullshit, then I walk behind a bull with a shovel in hand. I love talking turkey. You can talk turkey, Angel. You know how to talk turkey. Maybe you need to talk more turkey. You smile. I'm going to have your baby. Maybe. But in the meantime, this. Hans Angel, in preacher fashion, stretches his arms. The congregation repeats. And peace be with you. This is what I need. Time to work out where I went wrong. I need to close the distance between my dreams and my reality. I can't walk away forever. The highway is going to end sooner or later. I turn and I run. Yeah, there's only so much bitumen, mate. Anyway, Smiling Harry pats his work in progress. It's time for me to roll. Smiling Harry paces down to the waterline, leaving footprints in his wake. I run through the city streets. Hans Angel closes his eyes. My dream self is my life jacket. It allows me the opportunity to float through the day. My mind is numb. My humour is dry. My emotional well is empty. I have no affection to give. And how many nights did I seek answers at the bottom of a midi, to find salvation on a bar stool? And then the local pub started dropping off. The Shents, the Swanbourne, the highway. But in the end, it all became a blur. One weekend passed into another. One bar looked like another. One hangover felt like another. Another smoke-filled room, another morning of questions. And in the end, did I actually achieve anything? One band sounded like the next, one barmaid looked like the other. One taxi appeared to be the same taxi that scooped me off the pavement and took me to safety. One empty wallet was the same empty wallet that I carried to work each Monday morning. My working week was the same as my weekend. It all became the same. I leave you stranded by Flinders Street Station. And somehow the Viking appeared in my dreamscape. One moment, everything is surreal. I escape the clutches of reality. I glide across a valley in the companionship of 1,000 butterflies. Butterflies surround me. They brush against my lips like a first kiss. They whisper solace. They maintain the illusion that I am in control. I face the day wearing blinkers. I stuff cotton wool in my ears. I am happy in my self-imposed solitude. The butterflies arrive to comfort the rising bile of self-doubt, that nagging voice, that painful word failure flashing across my mind screen. And then one day the Viking intrudes upon my dreamscape with a butterfly net in hand. The Viking scoops up my 1,000 butterflies and stomps on them. I hear their screams. I run across the valley only to find myself thrashing through a field of sugarcane. The Viking is hot on my heels, wielding his long sword. I struggle through the sugarcane until I can run no more. I collapse and offer my pathetic life without further ado. The Viking taunts me, offers words of abuse, and then leaves me sobbing myself to sleep. The Viking returns to haunt me each time I venture into my dreamscape. My meditation, my cure, is to surrender to the blackness, where the Viking cannot chase me. That final drink where I slip off the edge and blackness engulfs me. It's only then that my dream self finds comfort. Somewhere in the darkness, I found Matilda. I clutch onto Matilda as though she were my security blanket. It is raining. The Dream of Hans Angel, Part 3. Hans Angel walks along Cable Beach. Hans Angel walks along Cable Beach at night. Hello, Hans Angel. Hans Angel stops. We missed you. Matilda wears a skin-tight outfit. Her boots reflect the quarter moon. Seagull stands by Matilda. Seagull is dressed like a general. Two android soldiers point their zap guns at Hans Angel. I like your outfit. Matilda sucks on her bottom lip. Hans Angel wears blue stubby shorts, a blue singlet, a pair of black thongs. You look like a superhero. Captain Yobbo to the rescue, Matilda smirks. Are you my princess? Hardly. I take it you people aren't here on holiday. Hans Angel stares down at the ground. People? Do not insult me. I am a machine. I tick before I talk. I have no beat. Matilda admires his crotch. Nice bulge. Hans Angel adjusts his stubby shorts. I feel vulnerable, as though I am exposed. Yeah, mate. Best not to crack a bat. Thanks for the advice, Seagull. Hans Angel looks at Matilda. How are you travelling tonight? We need your help. I take it I've got no choice? Too right, mate. There's no need to Botany Bay. We need a band-aid. I'd be a useless axe. Seagull pats Hans Angel on the shoulder. Papa has gone haywire. What do you mean? Papa has been infected. Papa just sits in a corner, dribbling. Why do you want me to join us in outer space? Get off your scooter. Don't you worry now. I've got the doctor, reading colourful lights. Let's be UFO, mate. Seagull marches towards the spacecraft. How do you understand what he's on about? Hans Angel walks with Matilda. The android soldiers follow. Men. I do not pay them attention. They talk crap. Matilda strides up the ramp. Where's... Hans Angel looks about the cockpit. Where's the goat? Buckle down, mate. Seagull prepares for takeoff. Hans Angel and Matilda belt themselves into their armchairs. The spacecraft lifts off from Cable Beach. The spacecraft heads to the moon. Billy Goat is looking after Papa. Matilda scans her console. I feel at home in this machine. It is what mankind is working towards. Hans Angel ponders a twinkling star. Any chance of stopping off at heaven? Heaven does not exist. Welcome to the future. You wouldn't have some beer lying about? Hans Angel rubs his stomach. My pouch requires servicing. I run on atomic energy cells. You've grown up, Matilda. You're no longer a child. Matilda studies her reflection in the computer screen. When this machine landed, Papa was speechless. This machine provided the answers to his questions. Billy Goat appears on the visual phone. Matilda, can you hear me? Yes, I can. Rufus has lost the plot. Billy Goat twitches. He's a walking vegetable without a patch. Please explain. He's metamorphosing. He's turning into a locust. He's tried to eat me. Background insect screams interrupt the visual phone call. Oh shit. Billy Goat bolts from the visual phone booth. Billy Goat, answer me. Rufus rushes into the visual phone booth. Rufus stares into the spacecraft. Rufus looks like a locust. Matilda screams, Oh Papa, what has happened? Hans Angel paces the cockpit. Have you two lost your marbles? You're infecting me with that virus. I do not think you can become infected. You don't think? Since when do you start making the decisions? Sit down, knucklehead. We have company. A spaceship appears on the other side of the moon. Do you reckon they would have beer on tap? Hans Angel grins. Beer on tap? I could do with a slice of Hawaiian, mate. Extra pineapple. Easy to count pineapple chunks. Seagull reflects on a past occasion. I was at Larry's. I've got a mate called Barry. Larry had this stockpile of homebrew. Barry used to scuba dive until a great white ate him. He bet me that I couldn't down a dozen long necks. You know what? He was spot on the money. Matilda stamps her foot. Shut up. Listen. Do you reckon a great white could digest a scuba tank? Would you listen? Hans Angel, Matilda and Seagull listen. Faint music can be heard. Hans Angel operates the central mainframe. I'd be a nun's dildo if I'm going to listen to that hornbag squeal. Matilda glances at the computer screen. What are you doing? Hans Angel locks down the target. Captain Yobbo to the rescue. Hans Angel squeezes the trigger. A missile is launched. What have you done? Any alien creature that listens to skyhooks deserves to be blown up. You bloody idiot. Mate, you just declared war. Lucky we've got the Salvation Army. The missile hits the gas tank. The spaceship explodes. Matilda shakes her head. I would love to hear your pickup lines. I've got one for you. It worked a treat. Seagull leans back in the armchair. Were you in the morgue? Hans Angel smokes to himself. Nah, listen, mate. You go to the slapper. You left your number in my dream last night. I called you this morning, but you didn't answer. Chapter 4. Smiling Harry drives out of the caravan park and comes to an abrupt halt. He calls out, Hey Angel, where have you been? Kind of woke up with a hangover and the van was empty. You sure hit the carton last night. Where have you been, mate? Hans Angel approaches the ute. To the other side of the moon. Kind of been thinking about this dream. There's so much clarity, as though I'm watching a video. Kind of feel like a seagull. Searching. Wanting a free meal. Yeah, whatever. Hop in. I'm going to town. Hans Angel does so. The ute roars off. Seen Mac? Nah. Hans Angel and Smiling Harry sit in a boab tree silence. I am so over Mary Rainfall. Mary Rainfall can be replaced. Everybody is expendable. The ute pulls up sore at the Roebuck Bay Hotel drive-in. The ice pack is called for. The boys emerge from the ute none the wiser. Down here, points Smiling Harry. It is rude to point. Down there is Chinatown. Smaller than China, but you might find yourself a nice floppy hat. There's no point in getting a spot of sunstroke, it spoils your day. And also, I met this mate having a shave, and he said that he took his lady to Two Rice at a swell feed, and he got his bonus points up. We're going to go fishing on the sly. Might be worth having a gander at Two Rice. Hopefully they serve a decent Sunday's roast. Two Rices just doesn't sound like a meal. And I've got to get some info on starting up this charter business. Smiling Harry chicken scratches his thongs in the dirt. The bastards back at work were only too pleased to see the last of me. Said the redundancy was in the mail. Smiling Harry shakes the dandruff free. I'll show 'em. Smiling Harry looks for blue sky resolution. I'll see you at the Rowie Sports Bar in about half. Yeah. Smiling Harry heads across Napier Terrace with ambitions in mind. Hans Angel looks at the facade of the Kimberley bookshop. He ambles up the red brick path. Under the faded red corrugated tin rooftop, temptation is offered. Hans Angel stands on the whimsical wooden porch and peers through the window. What lies behind the cover? Hans Angel! Oh my! Mary Rainfall looks up from glancing through her book. Hans Angel avoids direct eye contact, heart pulsating. Cold sweat forming, fever of the loins. Hans Angel stares across the weekly specials on offer at the bottle shop. Run away, little boy. Too afraid to confront responsibility, Hans Angel ponders the distance between the bookshop and the bottle shop. Is this a second chance? Mary Rainfall sucks on her bottom lip. You could at least say hello. I need to dial a friend. Hans Angel remains intoxicated by the weekly specials. What's the matter? I left you in Perth. Explosion. Mount Lost Love has erupted. Lava words spurt from the core. I put bitumen distance between us. What's the matter? Hans Angel clamps his lips together before another word eruption. You dumped me. For the second time, remember? We went to see a play. We left and it was raining. I wanted to hug you, to kiss you, and you said you wanted to go home. I drove you home. Your goodbye was, Hans, I don't want to see you anymore. I drove off down that fucking street listening to Chris Isaak singing Blue Hotel. Do you know how depressed I felt? No, actually, I didn't. I didn't know what you felt. You never told me. Oh, I never told you. I'm sorry. Rapid exchange fire taking place in the sunshine. Maybe if you pulled your bloody nose out of them stupid science fiction books and lived in reality for the odd day, things might have been different. Mary Rainfall stares up at Hans Angel with fretful distaste in her mouth. Do you know how bored I was of hearing about Daniil? That robot that Isaac Asimov created? You became a robot. You lost your sense of emotions. Bullshit. I had to hide my emotions. I had to lock my emotions away. You were trying to open my heart, to break into my world, to take a controlling interest in my life. I had to protect myself. Asimov this, Asimov that. Oh, and don't forget Mr. Dix. You and your bloody conspiracy theories. You were so out there. There was this gulf between us. We were never a part of the same conversation. Mary Rainfall slaps her thigh in agitated wonder. Remember the time you asked me to dye my hair blonde? You wanted me to look like your fantasy woman. Blonde hair, green eyes. How pathetic is that? I didn't match the woman of your dreams. Well, hands raised in bewilderment. I'm sorry. I didn't ask to be born with brown hair. Sorry, I wasn't listening. Did you just say something? I did not want to give my heart to you. I wanted to remain isolated. It was fine to touch you, but I never wanted to love you. Mary Rainfall breathes deeply, waits, and then exhales. At least we could still be friends. Mary Rainfall looks up into the eyes of Hans Angel, seeking confirmation. And where's the fun in that? I do not want to go backwards. The pasture has been trampled. We have had our good times. It was nothing special while it lasted. Mary Rainfall allows a lightning silence before the arrival of her thunder reply. I'm sorry. I guess that you haven't changed after all. You're still an arrogant asshole. Mary Rainfall brushes past Hans Angel and paces towards Pearl Luggers. Her bright summer dress of colourful flowers caresses her slender body. Her brown hair gracefully falls down her lightly tanned back. Why am I such an idiot? Shit. And shit again. Hans Angel rushes after Mary Rainfall with confusion in his eyes. Mary Rainfall chats with the customer service officer. Hans Angel looks toward the two stranded, fully rigged Pearl Luggers inside the wrought iron fence. You've got your sails up, but you ain't going nowhere. A dry cluster of purple bougainvillea flowers tumble down the roadside path with the assistance of a frangipani-scented breeze. Hans Angel follows its free-form journey before noticing that Mary Rainfall is no longer at the front counter. Hans Angel heads inside with purposeful strides. Not sure of what I'm going to say, just going to play it cool. Would you like to do the afternoon tour, sir? The customer service officer asks with a friendly smile. Thanks, but our tour is conducted by a former pearl diver. That's great. Who provides an informative account of the local pearling industry. That's great. And your lady friend will be there? Conspiracy theory. What chance does mankind have? Hans Angel swallows. That's great as well. Hans Angel steps away and heads along the wooden ramp past the showroom. A framed photograph of a pearl lugger under sail briefly catches his attention. Hans Angel hesitates before approaching Mary Rainfall, who studies the coil of rope that sits on the stern of the upper deck of the Sam Mail. Look, I've had a hectic morning. I had to put my singlet on. Mary Rainfall watches the devil strip of timber. Between the devil and the deep blue sea, between the sails of happiness and the sheets of emptiness, caught between the tides, stranded on a mud flat to the amusement of the rats. They are so beautiful. Hans Angel sits on the bench seat. You look beautiful at sunset along Port Beach. We were discussing our childhood dreams. You wanted to become a ballerina. I wanted to become a fireman. I wanted to rescue you, but you did not require my services. Independent woman. Impossible to understand. You haven't changed, Hans. A cool breeze allows the mainsail to flap like a chook. Nah. Hans Angel looks to turn the game with a standalone performance. You were on the rebound, remember? You were looking for a springboard. Somebody to talk to fill in the empty hour slot between being busy and sleeping. The dragonfly cuts the atmosphere with a rapid flyby. I was looking for salvation. I tried to find salvation between your legs. You slowly wove your web. You slowly entangled me. I was a fool to struggle. I was always hoping that we would... Why do you lock your emotions away? The Douglas fir mizzenmast whispers to its mainmast companion. Trust. It was moments of tenderness that I recall. It was a giggle, a smile, a whisper after midnight. Trust. Mary Rainfall takes aim, target locked in the crosshair. Trust. You looked upon me as a mattress. You looked upon me as a banking centre. I trust that you were happy making your regular deposits. I trust that you enjoyed using... Mary Rainfall raises the bar. The pole vaulter has Buckley's chance. Fly like a brick, sunshine. If my memory serves me correctly, you encouraged sexual intercourse in public places. You had no problems with a Sunday shag. There appears to be a fine line. I might have taken you for granted. Hans Angel sits on the bench seat and twiddles his thumbs. A patchwork quilt of galahs wheel overhead, singing an opera of colourful madness. Their rosy breasts clash with the beautiful blue sky. They disappear over Chinatown like a wayward kite that has escaped the clutches of a child. It would be nice to turn back the pages, but this book has been read before. I've always had visions of slapping you. What? You did slap me. What are you talking about? And I don't just mean a friendly slap. I seriously wanted to slap the crap out of you. I guess there's a little sadism in all of us. Well, that's good to know. Hans Angel rises from the bench seat, looking for a fast start and a clean run to the first corner. Wait. Mary Rainfall grabs his forearm. Hans, can we just do this tour? It sounds interesting. It's irrelevant. Why are we having this discussion? A red tinge haunts its way across her angelic face. What the heck did you just say? It's irrelevant. We shouldn't live in the past. What pearl divers did 100 years ago is meaningless drivel. Is your new boyfriend meeting you here? The foresail waggles about replicating cotton sheets pegged to a Hills hoist on washing day. You are so wrong. Tell that to the local Aborigines who lost their lives to the white slave masters. History is a bloodbath. History is murder. History is about either dominating or being dominated. History is pointless. Hans Angel tries to move past Mary Rainfall, who blocks his exit with a quick sidestep. Yes, your new boyfriend is meeting you here. You want to make me feel jealous. You want to drum the fact home that you have moved on with your life, and me, am going nowhere fast. Let me tell you something. Her extended finger pokes Hans Angel in the chest. The cake is baked. Pointless information is what blokes talk about on the piss. History fills the landscape. History provides identity. History removes the emptiness from society. The town bus makes a noisy migration along Dampier Terrace. I am only a period in your life. You have a future. I wish you well. Now I must leave you. Ignorance of the past is equivalent to blindness to the future. History provides information. Information is what holds the key to the future. Have you ever thought about going into politics? Hans Angel looks back at the showroom. Silent bottles stand guard on the inner windowsill, staring out into the congested mangroves. I must walk away now. I can feel my heart beating. A crowd of happy folk gathers beneath the stretched sunshade sails. They stand and mingle about the blissful weather and the coming of the stairway to the moon. The tour guide infiltrates the mob and discusses the coming Ladies' Day at the races. Mary Rainfall waits a moment. I need to make some decisions. Where I'm heading in my life. The distance between being myself and wanting to become a mother is rapidly shrinking. My goals in life are changing. Mary Rainfall waits on Hans Angel. You might be waiting a while, my dear. I've stayed a moment too long. Hans Angel peers down at the bobstay and follows its length from the tip of the bow sprit to the cutwater. When I was young, I made myself a spacesuit, and I went to this birthday party dressed in my spacesuit. I enjoyed watching people through my space helmet. It was as though I was underwater, swimming amongst the people. And one morning I caught the school bus dressed in my spacesuit. There was this beautiful silence inside my space helmet. And I turned up to school dressed in my spacesuit. My teacher yelled at me. I could not hear her. My teacher could not hear me saying, I am a spaceman. I come from outer space. And I ran out of the classroom. I ran across the schoolyard and down to the local park. I walked amongst the ducks and pretended that they were alien creatures. I lay down on the grass and fell asleep. Mary Rainfall looks up into the eyes of Hans Angel. Hans Angel eludes her melting pot eyes. I've always escaped into my dreams. My dream reality contains more clarity than my waking reality. I've always been willing to dream, as though I'm avoiding myself, avoiding accepting responsibility. It's as though I'm afraid to stop dreaming, as though if I stop, I will lose the sequence. I will lose my dream self. Hans Angel studies the tightly coiled rope baking on the cabin top. On board these tiny vessels, you'll have the Japanese divers, the Kopang pump handlers, the Thursday Islanders mixing in with the Aboriginal deckhands, and they'll be out to sea for weeks on end. Conditions were rough. Nice change of tack. Have the fishing line in sight. Mary Rainfall removes a couple of strands of hair from the corner of her mouth. Hans Angel becomes silent. He fidgets with the railing edge. Look, I'm trying to get over you. You've been on my mind for the past 6 months. I'm having troubles moving on. I'm trying to put a distance between who I was becoming and who I am. You've damaged my self-identity. You've turned me inside out. I'm afraid to admit that I was beginning to fall in love with you. Hans Angel abruptly turns. Hans? I cannot hear you. Hans, look at me. I cannot hear you. Fine, I wasn't going to tell you. I do not want to know. You weren't there for me. I had to stand on my own 2 feet. The only time that I needed you, you weren't there. This is a distorted perspective on life. I had an abortion. Hans Angel shotgun blasts his way out of Pearl Luggers. Mary Rainfall watches his departing presence. Hans Angel crosses the deserted street. The invasion of misery has begun. All hands on deck. Smiling Harry sits on the veranda of the Roebuck Bay Hotel. Spread out on the picnic table is a collection of documents. Smiling Harry looks bewildered by the paperwork. Only the odd picture provides clarity to the day. Hey, Harry. Hey, Angel. What you doing, Harry? Business. And here I was thinking you just took people fishing, have a fizz pop, have a feed and a couple of cold ales, but nah. You got to charge the blighters so as to derive income. Income? I'm used to living off the company. Now I am the company. Seen Mac around? Smiling Harry reaches for his midi, but on second thoughts, grabs a brochure on occupational health and safety. Nah, he went for a camel ride last night and Hans Angel sits down. Kind of forgot he was missing. That carton was calling. Them beers had to be dealt with. This is a one-horse town. Camels. Oomph. They can walk for bloody days. Hope he hasn't got himself a renegade camel that's bounded off into the wilderness. There has to be a correct way to fall in love. Who can say? Hans Angel thumps the table. Have I ever told you about falling through space? About free falling? About jumping out of a plane? Have I ever told you that you feel alive? You feel as though you can fly. It's magic. You are so... Is there a guidebook to falling in love? A robust lady stamps into the frame. A ribbon loosely controls her thick mass of black hair. She hesitates at the pub door before casting her eyes down at the picnic table covered with business pamphlets. The lady approaches smiling Harry, who looks up with frightened eyes as though he has been caught wagging school. A finger taps on the insurance brochure. Let me tell you something, mister. The lady stares down at smiling Harry, who begins to perspire across his forehead. Insurance is bloody great when you never need it. The lady swirls about and stares across Dampier Terrace at her quaint, corrugated tin rooftop office. She thumbs the railing before spinning around again and thrusting her fist in front of smiling Harry's gaping expression. I've had a cat spew morning. The name's Ruby Anchor. I'm partner of Wheelbarrow Pearls. We got them by the barrow load, love. What if you're reading off different pages? Smiling Harry continues to sit there, surrounded by an air of confusion. Turn on the fan, let the air circulate. Hans Angel stares into the emptiness between a streetlight and a passing cloud. I became a spaceman the day Grandma died. Standing at the edge of her grave, life did not make any sense. I did not know what to feel. I could not describe the emotions that had descended upon my heart. I never wanted to feel that emotion again. And when I opened my photo album, there were photographs of me and Grandma. And in each of the photographs, I was smiling. Grandma called me her little angel. I was always to watch over her. I've left Melbourne on hold. Why do I work in a stinking office? Ruby Anchor holds court. Have you got a name, love? Smiling Harry rises from the bench seat and extends his hand. Harry. Smiling Harry. Maybe there are no rules to falling in love. Ruby Anchor gives Smiling Harry a firm handshake. You aren't from the city? Nah, from Port Hedland. Great little tourist town. Just as well. Having problems with the cat crap on the table? Smiling Harry raises his eyebrows, rubs his hands down his shorts and mutters, cat crap. He looks at the mass of business information scattered across the picnic table. Cat crap. Yep, I'm used to dealing in bullshit. Ruby Anchor breaks into a fit of convulsive laughter. That's just what I needed. Dahlia special. Heading to the races tomorrow. Smiling Harry mutters, races tomorrow? His hand tries to reach his nostrils for a bit of playtime, but grabs hold of the tabletop instead. Isn't tomorrow Wednesday? Smiling Harry sucks on his bottom lip. Love, you're too smart for me. It's Ladies' Day. You can buy me a drink. Okay, where are horses, Dill? At the race course, out at Ganthium Point. I'll find it in the members. Love is a fleeting moonlit drive along the freeway of life. You choose your exit point. Head to the suburbs or head to the hills. Members, murmurs Smiling Harry with that sinking feeling that perhaps it just ain't meant to be so. Well, I think I've left that city jock on hold for long enough. So long as they can smell the dough, they'll hang around, like blowflies to a carcass. Insurance. Harry, I hope you ain't in the insurance game. Nah, have trouble finding me shoelaces. Stick to thongs, Harry. Ruby Anchor pulls down her tightly fitting red checkered shirt and gives Smiling Harry a final glancing over. Catch you tomorrow, dog. Post the letter the mailman shall deliver. No regrets. No turning back. Yeah. Smiling Harry returns to his collection of business pamphlets and continues to look baffled. The souffle rises. Women. You can never work them out. Who was looking directly across at Hans Angel? Who was that chick over at Luggett's? An opportunity for discussion. No excuses. Hans Angel studies the intrusive knife marks on the table surface. Mary Rainfall. We were kind of an item. She called me an asshole. The lollipop man turns his sign. Drive forward. Slowly. Oh, now that makes it interesting. Smiling Harry stares into the lost eyes of Hans Angel. What else did she say? Nothing. It would have never... Smiling Harry rushes to the railing and calls out, Mac! Mac, over here! Smiling Harry waves at Spanish Mac, who stands beneath the copper diver's mask at the front entrance to Pearl Luggers. The lifeguard swims out to the drowning man. The drowning man slowly drowns. The lifeguard crashes through the chop. The lifeguard dives into the sea of doubt, reaching out. The lifeguard calls out, Mac! Mac! Where have you been? We missed ya. To the camel! The drowning man lashes out. Don't touch me! The drowning man panics as the hands of safety grab hold. The lifeguard restrains the drowning man. What's the matter, mate? The lifeguard begins the slow journey back to shore. I ain't your mate. Spanish Mac delivers a bodyline comment. I ain't your mate. I don't need your help. What's the matter? I'm going bush. What you mean? I'm going bush. Smiling Harry rolls for a jack high play. Mac, mate, I'm starting Smiling Charters and I want you to be part of it. We're a team, Mac. You're my main tender. Mac, don't go bush on me now, hey? The opposition prepares for a smash and bash final roll. Spanish Mac mounts with the gelding reply. It's always about you. You and always you. It's always about what you want. Always you. Spanish Mac endures a second puberty. It's never about me. No, sir, it's always about you. Harry this, Harry that. Mac, what's the matter? It's never been about me. It's always you, and from today, it's about me. And if that means punching the crap out of you, so help me Lord. Dearly beloved, we have gathered here today to pay our respects to the death of dependents. For crying out loud, Mac, would you tell me what's the matter? I've met a girl. That's great, Mac. There's no need to get... And you ain't gonna fuck it up for me, you hear me, Harry? I ain't gonna let you screw this. The dance floor buzzes to the jive of the Declaration of Independence, but there's a twist. Stay tuned. Mac, easy. Smiling Harry raises his arms in sweet surrender. There's been a change of plans. What's got into you? I loved Pedal, and you, in a statement of fact, you chucked her off the train. Oh, Mac, that was different. You're getting worked up over. Don't tell me what I'm doing. I'm making my decisions from now on. That's great. Does she have a name? A smile of relief aid floods smiling Harry. The floodwaters will recede in time. It's none of your fucking business. Okay. Where you heading, Mac? Spanish Mac tries to yell in response, but his voice croaks like Grandpa did last summer. The Gib River. The Gib River. The Gib River. Oh, Harry, I'm so afraid. Spanish Mac latches onto a palm tree. His body breaks into a convulsion of sobs. Independence, only to become dependent on the nectar of passion, the passion of companionship. Smiling Harry cautiously pats Spanish Mac on his bony shoulders. What's there to be afraid of, Mac? You're me mate, Mac. Now don't go and forget that. I'm afraid so, you know. When you go fishing and you don't catch any, you feel like a loser. I don't want to feel like I lose. Mac, you ain't a loser. You're me mate. Spanish Mac wipes his running nose to avoid an infringement notice for a leaky valve. I'm going to become a rodeo clown. That's great, Mac. I'm going to make them Kimberley bulls laugh. I found myself a cowgirl and I'm going to become her cowboy. That's great, Mac. Look, I'm going to be in Broome for a while. You can always drop in and crash at me pad. Will the loo be spotless clean? A dusty, red, four-wheel drive pulls alongside the duo. You riding with me, Mac? Yeah. Spanish Mac looks at smiling Harry with tear-filled eyes. I'll be seeing you, Harry. Spanish Mac extends his lifelong hand. Smiling Harry shakes it. Mac, how'd you meet? Cherry pie. Spanish Mac wears a broad brimmed smile. Well, you see, who said that riding camels at sunset along Cable Beach ain't romantic? You know, had a choice between hugging a camel or hugging Mac. I chose the latter. Cherry pie hesitates with the whipped cream comment. It was a close call. Spanish Mac dons the selective hearing mentality before closing another chapter of his life story. I'll be seeing you, mate. Yeah, mate, I'll catch you at the next rodeo. Somewhere down the track, words will join into sentences. Spanish Mac and Cherry Pie depart. Goodbye. Smiling Harry drags himself back to the paperwork and the opportunity of a new beginning. Somebody has good fortune. Somebody has none. Hans Angel stares into space. There's always alcohol. There's always alcohol to add clarity. You will find the answers at the bottom of the bottle. What's that? Smiling Harry disputes the referee's call. Mate, you don't drink to find salvation. You drink with your mates. You have a laugh. You drink because man is a social creature. Hans Angel provides concrete pillars of realization. I want to forget. I want to lose myself. I stuffed up. I've chosen dreams over reality. I've neglected those around me. I'm wanting to lose my sense of identity. Alcohol gives you something. It gives you a hangover. Fancy a beer, mate? Smiling Harry adjusts his reply. Make it a mid-strength. Got some serious reading to do. I'm going to show them bastards that I can stand on my own 2 feet. I'm going to make smiling charters a success. And if that means drinking the odd mince-strength beer, well, I accept the challenge. Can't be that bad. Still a beer. Whatever. Hans Angel heads to the bar. The Dream of Hans Angel, Part 4. Hans Angel enters the room. Hans Angel enters the room. Matilda sits on the sofa. Matilda drinks a cup of tea. What a pleasant surprise. Matilda wears a pink, skin-tight outfit. Hans Angel grabs her teacup. Hans Angel slurps a mouthful. Yuck, where's the sugar, baby? Matilda reaches for the teacup. I see that you left your manners in Broome. Hans Angel walks to the control panel. These walls are bland. White is so non-vogue. The walls change to a sky blue. Cumulus clouds gather in the distance. You could probably fly a kite on a day like this. What are you doing here? My new occupation is that of an interior decorator. Your bill is in the mail. Where are your mates? Hans Angel stares into the clouds. Where are your pals? Gone bush. It's just me now. Matilda takes a sip of tea. What are your plans? I'm going to wait for you to ask as to whether I would like a beer. You will be waiting a while. Hans Angel folds his arms. Where's Billy Goat? I'm right here, bud. Hans Angel turns with a grin. Billy Goat pushes himself along on a trolley. Billy Goat has no rear end. What happened to you? Rufus ate me. Why did he stop? I sprayed some insect repellent on his nose. Where's Rufus now? Don't know, don't care. Billy Goat sulks in the corner. Poor Billy Goat. He's not the same. Nah, he's had the rear end eaten off by a hungry grasshopper. Where's Rufus? Papa is around. Would you like to stay for dinner? You're not going to feed me to Rufus? No. Matilda strides towards the kitchen. Hans Angel walks to the table. Are you okay? Matilda places a bowl on the table. No, I'm not. Hans Angel looks down at the gruel. I've just lost my appetite. You wouldn't have a beer handy? Matilda sits down. No. It must be hard. What, having no beer in the fridge? Pretending to be human. Matilda throws the bowl at the wall. What are you doing here? I was in the neighbourhood. Matilda taps her fingers on the tabletop. I've got nowhere to go. My mates left me. You cannot stay here. Why not? Because you would drive me round the bend. Your point being, you cannot stay here. What am I meant to do? Head to Marble Bar. There's a turkey bash. Remember your hat. Have a dance beneath the gum tree. Plenty of babes. Might find a melly root. Don't sweet talk no mule just 'cause you're drunk. Don't give you the right to get horizontal with an ugly chick. Seagull marches into the room dressed as a general. What would you know? Matilda storms off. Seagull shrugs his shoulders. Got a bug in her circuits. Sensitive thing. If she were a bloke, I'd punch her a couple of times. Can't remember doing nothing wrong. It's not as if I farted in the kitchen, burped in the dining room. Seagull slaps his thigh. She's just highly strung. You wouldn't have a beer handy? Hans Angel? Yeah. Let us go. Matilda walks into the room. What are you waiting for? Nothing. I wasn't expecting to. It is best if you do not expect. Hans Angel looks at his feet. Yeah. Shouldn't you change? Hans Angel rubs his thong along the cloudy floor. Maybe grab a skirt or perhaps a blouse. You need to blend into the scenery. How about if I find myself a pair of stubby shorts with a singlet? I could be your yobbo chick. I should not forget to buy a pair of thongs. I'm just trying to be helpful, offer some fashion advice. Have you ever been to Marble Bar? Well, Matilda walks away. Billy Goat looks up. I wouldn't worry about Seagull. He and Matilda are having a blue. I've heard the expression as intelligent as batshit used repetitively. I see. Best you skip along. You know what? You'd probably get good odds in the Marble Bar Cup, mate. Funny fella. I've been listening to The Wire. Put your money on a dude. A dude? Yeah. Hans Angel dawdles to the lift. His thongs slap against his soles. The lift ascends. Matilda sits in the ute. Hans Angel gets into the ute. What's the matter? Hans Angel drives around in circles. Matilda stares out of the windscreen. Hans Angel continues to drive around in circles. Matilda stares out of the windscreen. Hans Angel continues to drive around in circles. Hans Angel, what are you doing? Nothing. Could we at least head towards Marble Bar? I guess. Hans Angel continues to drive around in circles. I take it you do not know the way to Marble Bar? Nope. Hans Angel taps the steering wheel. Turn right at the entrance, then your first left. Matilda looks at Hans Angel. Why did you not ask? I did. You did not. Did so. Matilda punches Hans Angel. Ouch! You asked as to whether there was anything the matter. What I meant to say is, do you know the way to Marble Bar? There's no need to hit me. Stop acting like a child. Hans Angel glances across at Matilda. Been to Marble Bar before? I take it that is not the question that you want to be asking. Sometimes, Hans Angel, there is no point driving your golf ball into the bush. What's the story with Seagull? He seems at a loose end. Seagull is a loose end. Hans Angel drives to the Marble Bar racetrack. Hans Angel and Matilda watch the horses gallop to the finishing post. A dust cloud trails the last horse. Matilda enjoys the day. A baby cries close by. Matilda watches the baby. Matilda approaches Hans Angel. What? I want to go home. Hans Angel grasps her hand. Hans Angel leads Matilda to the ute. Hans Angel drives off. The ute arrives back at the Penguin weather station. Matilda scurries away. Hans Angel chews at his thumbnail. Hans Angel looks at an emu. The emu looks at Hans Angel. How you doing today, Mr. Emu? The emu stands still. Have a merry day, Mr. Emu. Hans Angel walks to the lift. The lift descends. Hans Angel hears voices. Apathetic. Say something. Do not just stand there. Say something. Hans Angel enters the room. Billy Goat raises his head. Billy Goat drops his head. Seagull stands in the corner. Matilda stalks the room. What's the football score? The Dockers winning? The footy is flat, mate. I see. Hans Angel stands in front of Matilda. Matilda barges into Hans Angel. Hans Angel stands his ground. Matilda shoves Hans Angel aside. Hans Angel tumbles to the floor. What's your problem, doll? I am not your doll. Hans Angel lies on his back. Matilda stands over Hans Angel. Rufus is in the kitchen. So? He is hungry. Perhaps we can offer him Billy Goat. Haha, funny guy. Seagull speaks up. Like I said, Litchfield is the place. Plenty of green. Rufus can live like a king. Fine. Matilda storms out of the room. I guess we're going for a ride. Hans Angel gets off the floor. Come on, Billy Goat. It's not that bad. No, it could be worse. Billy Goat pushes himself down the corridor. I could have dandruff. Tinea. In need of root canal surgery on several teeth. I could pull a hamstring, twist an ankle. Yeah, it could be worse. I'll get the lasso. Seagull heads to the kitchen. Hans Angel laughs to himself. Matilda storms her way back into the room. Hans Angel stops laughing. Matilda lets out a frustrated growl. Should be a fun trip. Hans Angel shuffles after Matilda. The spacecraft lifts off from the Penguin weather station. The spacecraft hovers above a monsoon forest. Florence Falls, mate. Ain't that sugar delight? Seagull turns to Matilda. Are you positive? There's thousands of acres up here. Nice spot, Seagull. Billy Goat pushes himself into a corner. Matilda turns on her heels. Billy Goat watches her departing figure. Hans Angel leans back in the armchair. Seagull fiddles with the instruments on the control panel. Hans Angel nods his head. What do we do now? Seagull continues to fiddle with the instruments. What do we do now? Best you ask the boss. Stuff that. What you want to do, Seagull? Seagull remains silent. It's a simple bloody question. Brekkie. I'd like to have brekkie. Hans Angel ponders. Not a bad suggestion. Kind of hungry myself. Hey. Hans Angel sits upright. Look! There's Rufus. Seagull notices Rufus flying away. So it is. The rude bastard didn't wave. Matilda enters the bridge. Matilda stares at Hans Angel. Hans Angel crosses his legs. Matilda gestures for Hans Angel. Hans Angel obliges. Where are we heading? Don't know. I heard the word brekkie? Yeah. Where? Cooper Pedy. I've never... It's a first time for everything, Hans Angel. Matilda smiles. Seagull, take us to Cooper Pedy. Right you are. The spacecraft glides over Bachelor. Got a mate who had a block out here. Great little spot. Went camping in the dry. Slept by the creek under the stars. Plenty of beer, plenty of laughs. I'm gonna miss the bush. Gonna miss the campfire. Gonna miss... Seagull stares ahead with a watery eye. Matilda pushes Hans Angel against the wall. Matilda kisses his lips. Hans Angel gropes her ass. Matilda grabs the bulge inside his stubby shorts. Hans Angel unbuttons her pants. His hands fondle her ass. Matilda yanks his stubby shorts down. Matilda sighs at his penis. Matilda turns around. Hans Angel enters her synthetic womanhood. Hans Angel thrusts himself into a panting rhythm. Hans Angel gives one final thrust. Hans Angel kisses her neck. Is that it? Hans Angel sniffles. Am I meant to feel anything? Don't know, don't care. Hope you're going to clean up the mess. Nope. Hans Angel pulls his stubby shorts up. Hans Angel walks back to the bridge. Whereabouts are we? The breakaways. Seagull avoids looking at Hans Angel. What's that? The dingo fence. Prick of a job. Back in 1946 they ended. Some 9,600 kilometres of wire. Now there's only 5,300 kilometres. Something is eating the fence line, man. Yeah, it looks like we're over some lost planet. Not even the aliens want it. Back in 1915, William Hutchinson, just your average lad, stumbled across an opal. Look around ya. What's the bloody chance of finding an opal? Slim. Cooper Pedy. It's a town where you might just forget to get out of bed. Plenty of babes? Mullock. Pardon? Them piles. Mullock. Mounds of waste. I see. Ought to go for a noodle. For a brekkie? Nah, noodling. Playing around looking for opals in the mullock. Sounds riveting. The spacecraft lands on a hillside. Hans Angel, Matilda and Seagull stride down the ramp. Hans Angel stretches his arms. Yep, I'm hungry. Hans Angel skips down St. Nicholas Street. Matilda and Seagull follow. A clothing vendor unpacks his van in the car park of a service station. Hans Angel admires a dummy dressed in a golfing outfit. Hans Angel skips down Hutchison Street. Hans Angel, Matilda and Seagull enter the Millennium Cafe. The waiter looks up. Fancy dress party? Seagull looks at Hans Angel. Hans Angel looks at Matilda. Matilda smiles. Yes, It was a real snorter. Plenty of piss. Gee, I didn't hear about no party. Next time, bud. How's your cooking? Seagull looks over the menu. Like petrol to a bonfire. You're talking me lingo. Seagull nods his head at the menu selection. How's the Aussie regular with coffee sound? The waiter pulls out his notebook. Bloody true blue. Chuck in a couple of jam tarts so we can call you Martha. Hans Angel, Matilda and Seagull sit by the window. Would you like an opal, dear? Hans Angel looks at Matilda. Maybe. I was going to buy you a beautiful pearl from Pearl Luggers in Broome, but... I was distracted. What now, Hans Angel? Brekkie. After that, a morning burp. Good for your bowel movements. Then, got to do a spot of shopping. I think I'm going to lose my yobbo image. What you going to become? A sharpie? A bogan? A nerd? Seagull plays with the sugar bowl. It's a surprise. After your identity crisis is resolved, I guess we say goodbye to planet Earth. Matilda blows the steam from the coffee. Chapter 5. Wednesday night lunchtime arrives undisturbed from a late Tuesday night. Smiling Harry returns from the ablution block. A change in image is a change in destiny. Smiling Harry strides out in polished Rossi boots, moleskin trousers, a border protection leather belt, a blue checkered shirt and an Akubra hat. His teeth are spotlight white. His face, baby bum smooth. Hans Angel snores from his cocoon swag rolled out on the concrete pad. Hey Angel, wake up. Hans Angel considers French toast for breakfast. What's the matter? It's almost time. Time? Time to hit the races. Angel, come on, snap out of it. Let's go and have ourselves a swell time now, hey? Smiling Harry walks about in his aftershave sphere, thumping the caravan. Boy, I sure do miss Mac. He's more than a mate. He's like a brother. And he's gone bush to be a rodeo clown. Smiling Harry dishwater chuckles to himself. That's a boy. You gone and got yourself a cowgirl. I miss him already. But hey, he's still me mate. No amount of distance between us is going to change that. We're mates for life. Hans Angel emerges from the swag, casting himself as the lead actor in the return of the Swagman monster. His opening lines are, "Let's go." Smiling Harry looks at Hans Angel, dressed for the special day in his stubby shorts, blue singlet and cap. Hans Angel stumbles into his black thongs with all the dignity of a minister on an overseas junket. I'm ready. Fancy a beer? The question evaporates beneath the annex. How about a change in clothes? Smiling Harry sniffs the lack of personal hygiene before turning as quick as the school clock second hand. I turned me Grundies inside out yesterday. Hans Angel steers through the internal fog of his mind towards the ute. I ordered a cab. Hans Angel confronts Smiling Harry with a washboard tune. You what? Ordered a cab. Should be... Since when do we ride in cabs? It's going to be a long day. There's a 2-up ring after the last, couple of bands, bit of boot scooting, and it should be a blast. And your point being? Daytime arguments. Keep it down, the neighbours are asleep. You don't need to drink and drive to have a blast. Since when? And besides, I'm meeting somebody. Oh, so Mr. Smiling Harry, the entrepreneur, has a new set of mates, and you don't want to be seen with the likes of me. Hans Angel considers the disruption of change for the laundromat. Well, I don't want to be seen with the likes of you. I got better things to be doing. Smiling Harry steps out of the past and into a new frontier. Hey Angel, someday we all have to grow up. Bullshit. Take responsibility for our actions. Crap. Do something with our lives. Stop wanking. The world don't owe you a living. I'll see you in the members. Hans Angel throws a verbal tantrum. You can't buy yourself class, Harry. You're a fucking nobody. You were born a nobody and you... I'm gonna try and make something out of my life. If you got problems with that, Angel, then you ain't a mate of mine. Smiling Harry hospital corners his new bed. Things are going to work out. You're going into receivership before you're even floating. Hans Angel clings onto the lifebuoy of despair, wanting to drown in company. You know, Angel, I've got a second chance, and by trumpet, I'm going to give it my best shot. If I sink, well, fuck yeah, at least I tried. No more needs to be said. Goodbye, Mr. Smiling Harry. A taxi cab hoots. Smiling Harry storms off the page. Hans Angel continues with the next sentence. There's an emptiness inside of me. I require alcohol to fill the emptiness in my life. Hans Angel lashes out and punches the caravan into submission. What is happening to me? Hans Angel asks the door that neglects to provide an answer. People place trust in me. When we jumped from the plane, they trusted that we would land in one piece. It was the free fall that gave me freedom. Science fiction and fantasy took me to new worlds. As my mates submerged themselves in debt and constraints, I pursued freedom. I am in no rush to grow old. I need to find myself before I find another. Hans Angel looks about with the eyes of a sick man. My mates have left me. Their opportunities are here. Mine are elsewhere. I stand alone. Broome isn't my home. I don't belong here. This crowd, it's not my crowd. These are not my people. I need to lose myself to be able to find myself. I will take the next greyhound. Hans Angel experiences a champagne moment of clarity. I must destroy the spaceman. I am no longer the spaceman. The Dream of Hans Angel, Part 5. Hans Angel holds a screwdriver. Hans Angel holds a screwdriver. There you go, champ. Hans Angel fiddles with the wiring. It should work. Hans Angel zips the cosmetic suit closed. You have hindquarters. Billy Goat wobbles on the spot. I almost feel good. Not quite. No, far from it. But the point is, I almost feel good. Now listen, that is a big step from feeling bad or just plain ordinary. I almost feel good. Your wiring is compatible. However, Billy Goat looks in the mirror. I was feeling good, but now I feel sad. What have you done? Did you think? Billy Goat shakes his head. What difference does it make? What? Hans Angel wipes his hands on a towel. I've done a splendid job. Splendid job? Yeah, you have hindquarters. It would be a good idea if you stopped right there. Hindquarters? Yes. Hindquarters of a sheep? Yes. Billy Goat looks at his reflection. From here, it does not look so bad. I have a beautiful tip at the tip of my nose, very beautiful. My self-esteem is centered on the tip of my nose. The rest of me? Billy Goat wags his tail. I think you could stop wagging your tail. Hans Angel drops the screwdriver into a toolbox. Stop what? That tail has a microchip of its own. I guess I should call myself Billy Goat Sheep. Yes, I think I might become happy. Billy Goat Sheep does sound like a happy name. Billy Goat Sheep. There is a certain laughter inside me now. I feel happy. The hindquarters move forward. Billy Goat stumbles into the wall. Oh, I have a problem. Hans Angel turns Billy Goat around. Thanks. I guess I will go for a stroll. With my wagging bushy tail, my new hindquarters, I feel happy. Billy Goat paces around the room. Hans Angel enters the bridge. You look pathetic. Matilda stands with her hands on her hips. You look like Daffy Duck. There ain't no pond here, mate. The toilet is flushing. Seagull chuckles. I thought that you were going to have a change of image. I have. Are you sure? Yes. You look as though you're short of a circus. I feel in the mood for a swing. Hans Angel wears a cap with a pom-pom, a turtleneck skivvy with tablecloth slacks, a a pair of golf shoes. I feel great. Billy Goat sulks onto the bridge. His tail continues to wag. Perhaps I might be able to join the party. I have always enjoyed a good party. Next time, you could invite me. Send me an invitation. You know where to find me. Billy Goat looks about. Yes, this corner looks fine. I might even call it home, unless one of you have an objection. As far as corners go, I have seen better. I have seen worse. Yes, I say so again. No doubt, nobody is actually listening. If I had the energy, why, I would love to continue talking, but no, I am home now. Matilda stares at the monitor. I lost. Hans Angel mumbles to Matilda. Why not just have a gander at the UBD? Yes, why not? Seagull turns to Matilda. It was that black hole, wasn't it? Billy Goat lifts his ears off the floor. At least I know where I am. I'm in a corner. Not just a corner, but a special corner. Matilda adjusts her console instruments. Matilda looks at Seagull. We should not have used that black hole as a shortcut. A shortcut to where? Hans Angel swivels in the armchair. Matilda studies the new configuration. To where we were going. Where was that? I do not know. Matilda smiles at Hans Angel. Am I having a conversation with myself? Hello? Are we actually lost? Technically speaking, mate, yeah, we're lost. No point getting upset about it. At least we know where we are. And where is that, Hans Angel? Billy Goat raises his head off the floor. I know I'm in a corner, but where exactly is this corner that I have so bluntly called my own? We are lost. You have a corner at Lost. You live in Lost. You've changed your postal address. Remember to inform the Electoral Commission. You wouldn't want to be fined for not voting at the next Lost elections. Could be worse. I could have a headache, toothache, kidney stones, problems of the bladder, poor eyesight, a weak ticker. Yes, there is no harm in being lost. Billy Goat drops his head to the floor. Ouch, this floor is quite hard. This is kind of like fishing. You hang a line overboard, you just drift. What more do you require? Seagull practices casting a fishing rod. This is great. Let's all go imaginary fishing for the rest of the afternoon. Hans Angel gets up. I'm taking a hike. Hans Angel enters the entertainment room. I need to be entertained. A barmaid approaches Hans Angel. Her hair is short. Her lips are full. Welcome to the entertainment room. How may I help you? The barmaid stares into his eyes. Hans Angel scratches his cheek. One beer, thanks, love. Hans Angel surveys the room. Edith Piaf's Marriage plays in the background. The barmaid pours the beer with apathy. Hans Angel flicks a note across. The barmaid reaches for the note. I think you need some friendly advice, mister. Hans Angel gulps down a mouthful of beer. Some advice? Yeah, I need some advice, all right. I've got a bad slice off the tea. What's the remedy? The barmaid smiles. If you gave yourself more personal time, then perhaps you would not be such an arrogant asshole. The barmaid departs. No doubt I've still got my slice to contend with. Hans Angel drinks his beer. Excuse me, would you have a light? No. Hans Angel turns to the voice. No, sorry, I do not have a light. Oh. Serene sits down. How was your round? Could be better. Do you play golf? Yes, I do play golf. Serene orders a beer from the returning barmaid. That's good. Hans Angel rubs the moisture on his glass. Serene raises her glass. Cheers then, mate. Serene stares into the eyes of Hans Angel. Your eyes are empty. Serene takes a sip of beer. Your thoughts are subdued. Serene places the glass down. Alcohol has numbed your emotions. Hans Angel consumes a mouthful of beer. Any advice on how to stop slicing off the tea? It's in the timing. Hans Angel stares at her moving lips. You're forcing the club through the arc. Hans Angel continues to stare at her lips. You're pulling the club instead of swinging your shoulders. Hans Angel stares into her blue eyes. The golf ball is awaiting the club's face. Hans Angel runs his thumb along her bottom lip. The thumbnail is sucked upon. The thumb knuckle is sucked upon. The contents of a beer glass are thrown at his face. Hans Angel reacts in a startled manner. What's your problem, bitch? You are my problem, you arrogant asshole. Matilda slaps Hans Angel. Hans Angel faces Matilda. I wouldn't if I were you. Seagull towers behind Matilda. Pity it wasn't battery acid. Serene smiles at Matilda. Serene walks away. Matilda fumes. Tell me, what is your problem? Hans Angel shakes his head. I have a slice. Matilda stares at his avoiding eyes. I have a slice problem. Matilda continues to stare at his avoiding eyes. That is my problem. No, your problem is yourself. Hans Angel ponders the question. Yes, you are correct. I can only blame myself for my slice. Your problem is that you have lost control. Matilda places the empty glass on the counter. You have no control over your life. You have no direction. Hans Angel looks at his golfing shoes. You are afraid of expressing your emotions. You fear rejection. What would you know? Hans Angel points his fingers at Matilda. You are nothing more than... I know what I am. That is the difference between us. The difference? Yeah, right. Hans Angel looks at the empty glass. Yes, that is right. How predictable is your behaviour? Reach for the glass. Deaden the pain. Reach for the glass. Can't you just leave me be? Matilda squeezes his hand. Care to join me for a drink? Come. Matilda leads Hans Angel from the entertainment room. Hans Angel, Matilda and Seagull return to the bridge. Seagull blows at his coffee. I think pelicans are underrated. Yeah, like brunettes. Nah mate, pelicans. Intelligent creatures. When I read Storm Boy, you know what mate? Cried my eyes out. I ended up in such a sorry state that I went down to the jetty with a bucket of sardines. Mate, I fed a couple of pelicans. All the while I was saying that I was no duck shooter. Seagull drinks his coffee. Funny bastards. Got that big gob. So when they laugh... Laugh? Yeah, laugh mate. Animals have feelings. Animals laugh, cry, you know. There we were on the beach at dusk, telling jokes. Funny bastards. What the heck? Coffee lands on his thighs. Ouch! Hot damn! What's the story? Seagull looks at the monitor. Hans Angel slouches in the armchair. Matilda clears her throat. We are at the end of the universe. What do you mean? Seagull attacks the keyboard with 2 fingers. We have hit the end of the universe. You mean that bump? That's it. Blimey, mate. Matilda looks out of the windscreen. That is the end of the universe. Interesting. Any particular reason for us to be here? Hans Angel twiddles his thumbs. Curiosity. Well, great. Now that you've satisfied your curiosity, can we go somewhere? Where? Hans Angel stares into space. Reminds me of the Nullarbor. This mate of mine decided to join me driving across to the east coast. I got thinking that driving across the Nullarbor was kind of like my life. We were halfway along the Great Australian Bight. I pulled off the bitumen. I edged my way to the cliff face. I asked my mate, what value do you place on life? He turned to me with a concerned look in his eyes. What value do you place on life? One roll of the dice, one flip of the coin. Life is a gamble. You are only in control of your life when you confront death. Sitting in that car so close to the edge, I felt comfortable in the tension of that moment. I felt in control. My mate stopped his journey in Adelaide. I continued east. Is this going anywhere, Joe? We are at the end of the universe. What is on the other side? Hans Angel gets out of the armchair. There is only one way to find out. Hans Angel departs the bridge. Hans Angel closes the internal airlock. Hans Angel opens the external airlock. Hans Angel clambers out of the spacecraft wearing a spacesuit. Hans Angel slides down the windscreen. Hans Angel gives Matilda and Seagull a wave. Matilda mouths a sentence at Hans Angel. Matilda scribbles on a piece of paper. You are an idiot. Who? Me? Hans Angel floats down the nose of the spacecraft. Hans Angel touches the end of the universe. A horn sounds in the distance. A Viking vessel under sail approaches. Hans Angel stands his ground. The Viking warrior commands an empty deck. Hans Angel stares into the eyes of the Viking warrior. The Viking vessel collides with the spacecraft. Hans Angel returns to the bridge. The spacecraft departs. Seagull navigates through an asteroid belt. Hans Angel, are you emotionally together? Matilda waves her hand in front of his eyes. I was up at Exmouth snorkeling. These reef fish greeted me. Colour surrounded me. Sunlight danced off their scales. These beautiful fish accepted me. I became a part of the moment. I felt as though I belonged. I was amongst my people. Out of the corner of my eye, I noticed a sandbar shark charging towards me. My companions deserted me. I floated with my torso exposed. I was alone, yet I was not afraid. If I was to die, so be my destiny. Everything became quiet. I stared at the pupils of that shark as it veered away from me. I turned around expecting to see its open jaws, but no. I was alone on the reef. A couple of 100 meters offshore, I swam towards shore. I did not know what was behind me, nor what was in front of me. I only knew where I was. Matilda rubs her hands through his hair. I was a passenger in a car with a meat pie in hand. We were heading across this intersection when another car rammed us. I was staring directly at this traffic light pole as we smashed into it. The back door crushed into the traffic light pole just behind my head. I was driving to fetch some meat pies. This car sped through a stop sign, collected another vehicle, headed towards me out of control. I slammed on the brakes. I was sliding towards this out of control vehicle that was now on fire. I was sliding along the wrong side of the road. The vehicle scraped my front fender as we crossed paths. I swerved to avoid another vehicle. I skidded to a halt. Do you know what I'm saying? No. What are you saying? Death is always near. One should never be afraid of death. That rowboat is on our sweet tail. Seagull concentrates on steering the spacecraft. Land on that planet. Hans Angel walks across to his golf bag. Hans Angel collects his one metal driver. I must confront the Viking warrior. The spacecraft lands on a field. Hans Angel emerges from the spacecraft. Hans Angel strolls into a field of wheat. Hans Angel turns to face Matilda and Seagull. I remember running through such a field when I was young. I remember running until I could run no more. I collapsed like a starfish. I stared up at the clouds. I dreamed of becoming a spaceman. Matilda screams. Hans Angel turns to confront the Viking warrior. The Viking warrior swings his sword. Hans Angel flicks the driver in front of the sword blade. Sparks fly. The Viking warrior lunges. Hans Angel pirouettes. Hans Angel swings at the Viking warrior. The Viking warrior ducks beneath the one metal driver. The Viking warrior leaps from the ground, lifting his sword. The Viking warrior brings the sword down. Hans Angel rolls out of the way. The sword becomes embedded into the ground. The Viking warrior heaves on the handle. The blade comes forth, covered in dirt. Hans Angel crouches. Hans Angel attacks. The Viking warrior deflects the first assault, the second assault, the third assault. Hans Angel growls. Hans Angel battles the Viking warrior across the wheat field. The Viking warrior defends himself. Hans Angel drops to his knee. Hans Angel sweeps the driver onto the exposed knee. The Viking warrior stumbles backwards. Hans Angel bashes the driver down at his opponent. The Viking warrior crumbles to his knees. Hans Angel continues with the onslaught. The sword grows heavy in the shaking arms of the Viking warrior. Hans Angel swings the driver with all his remaining strength. The driver connects with the head of the Viking warrior. The head is severed from the neck. The decapitated figure vanishes. Hans Angel looks at Matilda and Seagull. Matilda waves at Hans Angel. Matilda and Seagull vanish. Hans Angel screams. Hans Angel stands alone in the field of wheat. Chapter 6. Wednesday night awaits the change of the guards. Thursday morning hides in the bushes. The Greyhound bus thunders along the Great Northern Highway. Hans Angel cowers under his cap. I am suffering from man overboard syndrome. I am lost at sea, I am treading water. Heavy swell surrounds me. I am isolated. I am slowly drowning, losing my sense of identity. I need to be swimming toward a destination. I need to be swimming with another. A baby screams in the background. A mother murmurs words of affection. I am only trying to break the cycle. I am only trying to stop going around in circles. It is as though I am naked in a bathtub and destiny has pulled the plug on me. Destiny has decided the outcome of my life. I can only sit there with my rubber ducky in hand and watch the warm, soapy waters drain away. The lost opportunities of my life. I could have been. I could have done. I never did. As the water drains away, I can only sit and watch the whirlpool of my life being sucked away into the nether oceans of infinite time. I can only cuddle my rubber ducky and try to make sense of what my life has become. To obtain an element of clarity in the decisions that I have made, I can only watch the final trace of my old life slide down the drain hole. I can only contemplate what could have been. And as I lie at the bottom of my bathtub, I can only pray that when I open my eyes, I shall view the beautiful face of Mary Rainfall, bathing in the same bathtub. Our destiny is to be together, our opportunities, our life. I shall no longer be holding onto the rubber ducky, but our child. I cuddle my rubber ducky and dream of Mary Rainfall. I can only dream of her warm figure wrapped in my arms. I can only imagine her caress, her kisses, and the sweet sound of her voice. I can only pray for another chance to stand by her side and to protect her, to comfort her, to love her. A baby giggles in the background. A mother smothers her in kisses. Hans Angel glances at the approaching township of Halls Creek appearing on the menu board. Street lamps offer a hungover landscape. I cannot dwell on memories forever. I am mourning the death of the relationship when I should look upon it as a new beginning. The relationship needs to remove itself from the emptiness of the mundane and find itself in the body of acceptance. Hans Angel sits up like a wedding night erection. I had an opportunity, the so-called last opportunity, as loud and clear as the barman shouting, "Last drinks! Last drinks!" It was during a reception at the Western Australian Maritime Museum. Mary Rainfall's cousin had just got married and I was excited over the prospect of spending the night talking to strangers. I became settled in a session of steady drinking. Mary Rainfall wanted to have a dance. I wanted to have a beer. I compromised. I held my glass of beer in one hand and managed to shuffle on the dance floor beneath the flashing lights. It was an awkward dance to perform. A mouthful of beer, a snazzy shuffle, another mouthful of beer, a lazy tango, and then a final mouthful of beer, but the song had not ended. Mary Rainfall sucked on her bottom lip. Mary Rainfall grabbed my hand and led me through the swirling bodies, the rustling of evening dresses, the crinkling of pressed trousers, and out onto the balcony overlooking Fremantle Harbour. A salty night breeze swatted our bodies as the reception music continued to play in the background. Mary Rainfall gazed down at the rippled water with a determined expression. The reflected lights of the cargo vessel moored along the North Quay created a tranquil sense of world peace. I thought that you would feel at home at the Maritime Museum. That's why I invited you. I thought you had an association with the sea. Perhaps I was mistaken. I looked out towards the harbour entrance. The navigation lights twinkled like colourful stars and I realised that I had forgotten to grab a beer. I was dry docked. I felt vulnerable. Hans. Her voice drifted downwind. Her lips were closed. Mary Rainfall tried to stare into my soul. I broke the moment. Look! A seagull. Must be way past its bedtime. Strange seeing a lonely seagull. I wonder if it realises that it's alone. There are times to keep your mouth shut. Hans, did you pay any attention to the service? That was a leading question, and due to a certain sense of complete well-being, my response could only be classified as inadequate. No. Mary Rainfall pounded the railing ledge. She looked out towards Rouse Head. I, in a moment of clarity, realised that Mary Rainfall was a beautiful package. Dressed in an elegant black evening dress that almost dripped off her body, the moonlight cast a serene light over her angular face that gave the impression that she was a mannequin. A cold breeze swept over the water. "Would you like my jacket?" Mary Rainfall continued to stare out towards the harbour entrance. A cargo vessel came towards us, like our immediate concerns. It passed and continued up the Swan River. Its wake rolled into the Victoria Quay with a certain brash nature. I often dream of leaving a port, setting sail into uncharted waters. Where is our relationship heading? Our relationship was, at the very best of times, stagnant. A floating cork. It was floating on complacency. Mine, hers, there was no direction. We were sailing without a rudder, a mast, a crew, a gallery, a stateroom. Our relationship was an empty hull. Our relationship was heading nowhere. We had no destination. We had no sextant to guide us. There were no stars above. Our hull was floating on blackness. That's a very good question to be asking. I searched the sky for another lonely seagull. Did you ever consider that explorers had no idea as to where they were heading? Did you ever consider that nobody knows what's beyond the known until they get there? These were certain concepts that I did not care to delve into. I was relatively happy with the current arrangement. It was therapeutic. No strings attached. I looked upon Mary Rainfall as a convenience. Mary Rainfall stared at me with indifference. "Would you like a beer, Hans?" I shrugged my shoulders. Mary Rainfall smiled and walked inside. I stared across the harbour as a plane flew overhead. I wished I was on that plane. I wished I had my parachute. I wished I was about to leap out into the night sky and free fall. I wished I was falling in love. The Greyhound bus pulls up at a Halls Creek service station. The passengers disembark as a swarm of disturbed bees in a rush to get to the toilet and cinnamon buns. Hans Angel grabs his overnight bag and steps onto the dirty concrete driveway. Hans Angel approaches the driver having a fag. "Look, mate, thanks for the drive, but I might head back." The driver looks through his cloud of smoke, not quite sure of the weather report. "I'm heading back to Broome." The driver drops the butt and grinds it into the dirt. "Ain't you on your way to Melbourne?" "I've changed my mind." The bus driver shakes his head at the stray intrusion to the simple equation. "There's a bus due in a couple of hours heading that way. I'll let them deal with the paperwork. Whatever." The bus driver grabs another fag and sets it on fire. Hans Angel sits at a picnic table and twiddles his thumbs. Enjoyed the audio presentation of Distance? Perhaps you would like to buy Distance in ebook format at Amazon.com. Search Distance Kingsley McGlew. That's McGlew. Support the independent artist. Kingsley McGlew would like to thank Purple Planet Music for the use of their music in this production. www.purple-planet.com. The following music has been used with permission, all rights reserved. Rattlesnake Moan, Insidious, In My Nightmares, Abandoned, Paranormal Activity, Desolation, Palpitations, Trepidation, Slowly Creeping, Trick or Treat, Upstep, Turning the Screw, Spy Story, Entombed, Intimidation, Hard Trance, Fallen Angel, Funk City, Atlantis, Mass Mania, Phantasm, Funfair, Molten Alloy, Tenebros, End of days. On tiptoe. On the prowl. Hubbub. Prohibition blues. Gone fishing. Far and wide. After the fall. Kaleidoscope. Green tea. Ecstasy. Last stand. Feeling good. Rain on Lake Air. Mind warp. Daybreak. Celebration. Morning routine. Love life. Meat grinder. Latin love affair. Fun on the farm. Jump up. Thrashing around. Blackout. Outcast. Outrigger. Sierra Nevada. Slipstream. The Big Score. Harbinger of Doom. Troll Hunt. Trail of Tears. Snap. Dance of Death. Shifting Sands. Iron Horse. Battle Lines. Floating in Space. Riding the Tundra. The Professionals.